Hello all, welcome back. I hope you had a refreshing tea. Okay, so now we are heading to the keynote session. So the first keynote speaker for us would be our dear Anindo Bose sir. As you could see on the screen, I'll quickly go through his credentials. Okay, sir is working as executive editor currently with Springer Nature. You all know what Springer Nature is? Yeah, famous publishing company. And Mr. Bose is a part of the global acquisition team at Springer Nature and responsible for acquisition of scientific content across the globe. So when you are doing a research and you have something important to contribute, we have whom to approach here. And sir is responsible for acquisition of content in interdisciplinary applied sciences. Okay, so not only related to computer science, it is interdisciplinary. So we have many interdisciplinary students here. So please, try to associate your understanding of what sir is going to present you, and try to establish the relevance so that you know where to take your research forward. And sir has got more than 26 years of industrial experience in marketing and different fields of publishing. And sir has completed his master's in organic chemistry from Delhi University and a master's in marketing research from Symbiosis Institute of Management Studies, Pune. And sir has delivered more than 160 invited talks, okay, on scientific writing and publishing ethics in reputed universities. And he's going to talk with us on the same theme, publishing ethics, okay. It is very important for the research integrity. And he has also participated in a number of international conferences and author workshops. So he has published books for secondary level in chemistry and is a member of American Chemical Society, USA. Okay, as you can see, sir has come all the way from London, UK to be spending his valuable expertise with that. So I want you all to give him a big round of applause to welcome him. Okay, so I hope we are going to have a rewarding session.
Thank you. Good morning. Good morning. Good. I have some hearing problems, so I have to say it 3 times so that I can hear you loud. Okay, everyone is hearing me. This particular citation is 4-year-old. See, I am an editor, so anything which is wrong, I need to edit. That is in my genes, So it is already completed 30 years, and I have already given 250 plus talks. So I need to talk to Harish. Where is he? I don't know. Oh, he's clicking my picture. So it's an important day for all of you and for us also, because we are having a lovely interaction in a beautiful city of India. See, the whole idea of keynote is like, giving some information to you on which you can actually work on. Usually keynotes are given by 2 different kind of people. Like, one is academicians or researchers who are doing the research, and they usually talk about their research, and people who are working in that area gets immediately benefited and they can collaborate. People like us who are not doing research, but we are associated with the research community, we are working broadly with the research community, we come here and we share information. And my presentation will be, basically it's a very difficult task to pick a topic when you are giving a presentation like this in half an hour, 40 minutes, because 30 years of experience in publishing cannot be told in 30 minutes. Very, very difficult. But the whole idea is to take you to some places where you will get quick information, and it's like assignment, homework. Go back and go to those websites, go to those books, go to those links, and try to learn more. See, I am a true believer of when you read more, then you learn more. So whatever is printable is readable. It's up to you. You have to decide whether that is useful or not. If it is not, please keep it away. If it is, continue. Now, the moment you read what exactly you are doing, you are learning, your critical thinking improves, your analytical thinking improves, you start comprehending things better, you write well when you read well. You get more vocabularies, you get more things into your mind so that you write well. So interestingly, when you read more, you know what to do. But when you read more, you also know what not to do. And if you know what not to do, your half battle is done, because now you know exactly what to do. You just take the slide changer. On है सर. अब चल रहा है. चल रहा है ना? Yeah, I don't know how many of you actually is acquainted this term, World Standards Day. There are many standards, you know. We always follow different standards and there are different bodies working on that. Today is a World Standards Day. And it's like, you know, you can give your valuable, you know, respect to all the people who are, there are thousands of them globally. They are associated with world standards. And these are the standards which we follow. And right now we are working, all these people are working very thoroughly on SDG. We'll talk about that later. A little about the organization I am coming from. Usually people who are working with us, they know this horse very well. This is the logo of Springer. The person whom you can see over here is Julius Springer, who started this organization in 1842. It started as a small bookstore, and this bookstore, people used to come and buy books here. Then he got this idea, why not publish the kind of books these people are also writing, because a lot of Nobel laureates used to come to this Berlin bookshop and they used to talk to him about their books. The dynamics of publishing was very different during those days. Conferences are almost 350 to 360-year-old. People are going to conferences, but they never used to publish conference proceedings. The kind of proceedings what we talk right now, the kind of proceedings which will be published with a publisher, the kind of proceedings which are indexed, people are, you know, feel good about it, but there was nothing like that. People used to go to conferences, they used to present their paper, they used to get a lot of review and feedback, and then they go to journals, or they used to self-publish. Once they used to self-publish, they go to the next conference and they used to give their paper as leaflets. This is my paper, please read it. From there, we got to some place where we are actually, we can have conferences like this. It's an opportunity where we can come together and we can talk to each other. So our organization started in 1842 by this person. Then in 1924, we moved to Vienna. 1946, we moved to Heidelberg after Second World War. This is the biggest office till then. Now the biggest office is the London office, where more than 1,700 people work, and I go to that office. Proudly, I say I live in a city, Cambridge, and Cambridge is like a city where the IQ level is very high, and I am glad that I am an Indian, went there and also helped to increase a little bit more. So these are the numbers. You know, I love numbers. Jagdish is from mathematics. I am not. I am an organic chemist. But you know, I love numbers more than Jagdish. Jagdish will kill me. So these are the numbers. You know, numbers actually gives you immediate analysis. They tell you basically what exactly we are doing, what exactly our goals are. You can see over here we have almost 9,400 people, 45 countries, and we have published 4,20,400 papers in 2023. Only Springer. And out of those, you can see 1,83,800 papers are open access. That means 44% papers are open access. Open access means authors have to pay some amount to make their paper open, so the readers can download them and read freely. They don't have to pay for downloading. They don't have to pay for reading the papers. So, guy, I need the presentation. You can put me on the over there. I'm a good-looking guy, so but that's okay. But I need the presentation here, which is more important. So you can see 1,83,000. You know. So we have around 3,000 journals, and we also publish 14,000 research papers. Now here it's an interesting number. 7,50,000 peer reviewers. Now who are these peer reviewers? This is a very unique sort of an industry. You know. Suppose I am an author. I am writing a paper, so I am an author, right? Harish is downloading that paper, so he is a reader. But at the same time, both me and Harish, we are also doing one activity, that is reviewing those papers. We are reviewing those papers. So it's a triangle, you know. So when I say that we are working with 7,50,000 peer reviewers, we are also working with 7,50,000 authors and readers, you know. Everybody is there. So I am an author today, reader tomorrow, reviewer day after. So this is how it works. Now we will talk about ethical issues, today's topic. Ethics is something which is needed in life. It has nothing to do with research as such. Ethical thing is important because we need discipline, we need ethics, and research importantly need ethics because we are trying to do something which is going to help the society. Now, if we are trying to find something which is going to help the society, you have to be very ethical, otherwise you cannot help the society and your contribution will be zero actually. So ethics is very important in research. Let's see, I will again ask some questions for you to answer so that, you know, again numbers, so that these numbers will tell you more about this industry and what exactly we are trying to do. It's a question, how many papers are published worldwide in a year in English language journals? Now we have journals in different languages. We have journals written in Hindi, Spanish, Portuguese, Mandarin. But here I am only talking about the journals across all subject areas. How many papers are published in 1 year worldwide in English language journals, the journals which are publishing in English language? Any idea, any number which you have in mind? Yeah. Anything? Around 70,000. Okay. One number we have, 70,000. Any other numbers? Yes, ma'am, you were supposed to say something. 2 lakhs. Okay. Anything? Don't worry. See, I am not going to remember your answers and not you also. please answer. Yeah. 3,56,000. Interesting number. Do you have a birthday on 356 someone at home or something? Okay. See, let me just go back to a slide which I just said. How many papers are published by Springer, I said, in 2023? 4,20,000. So that number cannot be less than 4,20,000. Here I am talking about all English language journals. Right? Okay. Number is 2 million. 20 lakh papers are published. Now these 20 lakh papers are just 30% papers which are actually accepted. 70% more papers are submitted, but they are not accepted for publication. They are either in the process of revision or they are rejected, which will be rewritten again. Interestingly, in this industry, we believe a paper written once will be published. It will find its space. Not here with Springer, with someone else. It will be not in this conference, some other conference, correct? Okay, let's have another question. How many books are published worldwide in STMM, Science, Technology, Medicine, Management? How many books? Is it more than, yeah, good. It is more than papers or less than papers? Less than papers, right? Everybody thinks that? Less than papers? Anybody thinks differently? Okay. It's 2.2 million. So it is more than, this is all notion based. You know, when I was actually looking for an answer, I was equally surprised the way you are getting surprised. The books are more. Rejections and acceptance is the same. It's not that rejections are here less. It's not that. So even the books are more. Okay, now the next question. How many researchers in percentage have committed research fraud at least once in their career? Now this is something related to ethics. What do you think? How many percentage of people or researchers have committed fraud at least once in their career? Huh? More than 90%. Okay. Anyone else? 50, good. Sir ka to I can understand, his answer is quick and good answer, because 90%, the moment he said 90%, he actually taken out himself and on in the was. So, see, I can tell you how this works, you know. No hard feelings. How this works. Let me just change this, twist this question a little for you. How many researchers or people sitting in this room have committed fraud once in their career? Now the percentages will come down. 0%, 1%, 2%. See, this is how we think, you know. And there is no, you are not thinking differently. You are thinking same way people are thinking and we are thinking. Take an example. I know myself, I am a good person, correct? No, I am a good person. So I think I am a good person. I know Harish very well for years. So Harish is a good person for me. Rest, I don't know, so they are corrupt. Correct? This is how human brain works. It is only the answer is not shown here. It is only 1.98%. Less than 2%. See, you talk about any system. Think about any system. Leave this thing. Any system which has more than 20% corruption, which will crash, collapse. So a community we are talking here is the best community. The people who are scientists, people who are researchers, who are basically going out and trying to contribute to the society, how you can think about that people are like 90%, 50%, 80% corrupt. No, it is not possible. Less than 2%, but 2% of what? Go to the numbers here. 2 million papers, 2.2 million papers. You all know papers are written by multiple authors. If I am talking about 30% of this and 70% of that which is not already published, so how many authors are totally involved in the whole process, and 2% of that is how big that number is. Again, a very, very big number which is very difficult to handle. Okay, now what is copyright? See, I don't want to tell you the definition over here. English is a very, very interesting language. You know, I am just reading about a book on a language. I think you all should read that book, A Little Book of Language, written by David Crystal. Amazing book to read. I haven't finished it yet. But, you know, English is such an interesting language. It has evolved over the 1,000 years. Like copyright is a very interesting word. Just put a small space between copy and write. No, it is not right to copy at all. So the biggest industry which has faced the problem on copyright is basically music industry. But we are also feeling the brunt right now because we have moved from print to digital. Electronic thing, difficult to make problems, more challenging. So we have a website over here, a organization called COPE, Committee on Publishing Ethics. And this COPE is a body which is actually all good publishers are member of. And you can go to this website. You can see there are different guidelines are there which you can go and you can refer to. And these guidelines are not only available for reading, you can also communicate in these platforms with other researchers, and very, very in lucid language and beautifully defined. So if you know this website, because we are already a member of it, and if you know the rules, then you can play well. What is the most occurring reason for retraction? What is the meaning of retraction? If anyone can tell me quickly. Retraction. Just English meaning of retraction. Yes, exactly. Thank you, sir. Taking anything back, right? You are retracting it. So when I am talking about most occurring reason for retraction in publication, what exactly I am meaning here? I'm trying to tell you that something which is already published, we are trying to take it away. We are taking it down. This is not possible with print publication. It is not possible with hard copy publication, because you have already purchased a book. I cannot go to your house and say, there is an unethical thing, please give it to me. It is not going to happen. But in digital publication, this is possible. We can actually remove that thing. But here, there is a catch. We are not removing that from the website. It is very much there with a derogatory note over there that this has been retracted because of such unethical activity, which is more derogatory for any author. Now, if I say what is the reason for that, it says honest error is 40%. What is honest error? Honest error means someone is committing an error without knowing. And that is what is happening because you don't know the rules, you don't know the guidelines, and that is why I said you can go to the website of COPE. I will give you more information related links where you can go and you can learn more. Fabrication and falsification is 28% because data is available in abundance. We are talking about data since morning. So data is available on internet, and we always think internet is free. Go and copy anything from there and use it. It's not actually. Then we have redundant publication, which is a self-plagiarism. Self-plagiarism means you have already published your work. Now you are basically republishing or publishing something beyond that, and you are trying to copy what exactly you have published before. And that is called self-plagiarism, because you cannot use the content again for publication. You can refer that work which you have already published. Simultaneous submission. Anyone can tell me what is simultaneous submission? The word simultaneous brings anything to your mind? Very good, ma'am. Submitting the same manuscript to multiple publishers at the same time. So the catch is, I have written a paper, I want to publish it, I am sending it to 5 different journals for review. They are not publishing it, they are just reviewing it. I am sending it to them. What is the problem there? That is not unethical, right? Because I haven't published it yet. Now I have got reviews and everything from all these 5. Now I want to publish it. I cannot publish it with 5, I can publish it with 1. But I am saying simultaneous submission itself is a problematic thing. That is because you are wasting time, effort and resource. And who is this resource? This resource is reviewers. People who are working as reviewers. Because I will just give you a quick example over here which has happened. One gentleman from India, he has actually submitted his work in 2 different journals at the same time. Journal of Optics, Springer, Photonics, Elsevier. Now, when I talk about all these big numbers, all these numbers are not in your domain. You know, in your domain, there must be 10 or 12 good journals. Few people are actually working in your area, exactly research area. So what happened, this is a good paper, but the good paper was submitted at 2 different journals at the same time, and these 2 gentlemen who are working as editors over there, they send it to the same reviewer. So they had a good laugh about it, and finally, who is being penalized here? Out of these 48 papers which are actually accepted and registered, if suppose 20 papers are from this institute only, then it's a big, big problem. And many institutes are doing this, and which is very, very unethical. Plagiarism, lovely word, nobody likes it. What is the meaning of plagiarism? Plagiarism means you are basically stealing something without giving recognition to the person. Plagiarism occurs when someone presents the work of someone else's and they are basically using this. This is something which I should actually go and teach to a student who is in a class 3rd or 4th, because that is something which we usually at that age, not to senior people, but interestingly, something which has been inculcated in us for years and years, and we don't even see that, how it works, I will tell you. When everybody celebrates Diwali, right? Right? So when Diwali day, what exactly we do? We go to our good friend Google and we download a picture. The beautifully looking picture which we find on a Diwali, a diya or rangoli or light and anything. And then we download it, we put our name into it and send it to everybody. Happy Diwali. Who has clicked this picture? Someone else. Who has uploaded this picture? Someone else. Who is basically storing this picture online? Someone else. Nothing belongs to us. But we are using that picture because we think it's freely available, and that is what is plagiarism infringement. You know, people are very smart. When we talk about artificial intelligence, human intelligence is amazing. I can tell you how it works. Our HR, human resources, they came up with a fantastic idea that everybody is going to decorate their table in Diwali. We did that. I go and talk to you guys. So I thought, oh, why not click the picture of this and send it to people, you know, instead of getting something from Google. I clicked it, send it to people with my name. Evening, I am getting the same image with other names. Human intelligence. Smart people, that is a smart plagiarism. So stay away from that, because we are doing it every day for our work. That is why when we do it for our research also, we don't feel that chori paap hai. So we are stealing, you know, subconsciously we know that, but we are consciously doing it. There is something called fair use. Fair use is a document, Association of Research Libraries, which is published in 2012. What exactly you have to see, you can go and read the document and you can see what are the ways you can do fair use. But if you ask me, then if you are actually using someone else's work anywhere, give recognition, give credit and mention it. For research papers, if you are doing it, please take permission. Without permission, don't do it. How we get to know about plagiarism? We get to know about plagiarism by 3 ways. First, the original author tells us. You have published a paper and you come back to us, oh, someone has copied my work. Or from the reviewer. Very seldom from reviewer, because reviewer cannot tell us where exactly it has been copied, but reviewer can tell us with his experience or her experience that something is fishy in this paper. And finally, all the readers, like whistleblowers, we call them. They come to us and they tell us, oh, this paper is actually published by ABC on this journal and again on conference, and we get to know about it. Do you know we have an availability of tool which identifies plagiarism? Anybody? We have a tool, right, which identifies plagiarism. Which tool is this? Authenticate. Any other tools? Turnitin, DocoLock, many, right? It identifies what? It identifies plagiarism. No, it cannot identify plagiarism. These tools are just give you some similarity values, nothing else. And these similarities, they don't tell us whether the paper is plagiarized or not. They give you some numbers, right? And there has to be someone sitting there, an expert, a subject expert, who has to take a call whether these numbers are right or wrong. I will give you an example and tell you why this is, I'm saying this is the internal story, how it looks. This is Authenticate. This is inside story. You can see the papers are over here and the similarity number percentages are here. And see how beautiful, colorful paper, but unfortunately, highly plagiarized, which cannot be published, right? Some tips. The tool cannot detect all problems. That is what I'm saying. Why I'm saying this? I'm saying this because a low similarity score does not mean there is no plagiarism. Let me tell you how. Two papers, X and Y, use any tool which you want for plagiarism check. X, 30% similarity. Y, 10% similarity. Just looking at the number, it says X is more plagiarized than Y, 30%, 10%. Now I need a subject expert, which I am saying. Subject expert will look deeper into it and say, oh, 30% coming from 40 different sources. It's a match, correct? But 10% is a direct lift from some paper in method or introduction or somewhere. Now 10% becomes more plagiarized than 30%. It is important to look at the individual sources also. That is single source you have to see. Like suppose X and Y both are showing 30%, X from 30 different sources, Y 30 from 2 or 3 different sources. So Y is more problematic. So people will ask me here, how we set a standard then? Setting a standard is basically misusing the tool, but we have certain parameters which we can see. That is, if a paper is giving you a similarity of 1 to 20%, something between 1 to 20, please check immediately whether there is a single source or not, or how exactly the numbers are there. That expert can do quickly, and you send it for review. If the numbers are 21 to 40, then you send it back to the author and tell the author, oh, this paper has problems, it has more similarity, please revise it. Anything beyond 40, 50 is basically cannot be revised again, because English, you know, it's again an interesting language. With thesaurus you have different words for different words, you know, same words. So you can very well modify. So that is a problem. If it is more than 40%, then don't publish that paper. This is a suggestion to authors who are here. This is a suggestion to faculties who are here. Only publications by participating publishers. You know, whatever is present online can be checked. Whatever is not present online cannot be checked. I'll tell you another anecdote. A student came to me in Udaipur, I think a couple of years ago, and he said, sir, you are talking about so many tools, you know, but you haven't told us the best tool. I said, no, which is the best tool? You know, I don't know which one you are referring to. He said, sir, Google Translator is the best tool. You can translate a different language paper. No plagiarism tool can identify anything. See, this is not an idea. This is highly unethical. But people are doing it. people are doing this. They are using Spanish paper, changing it to English. They are doing Mandarin paper, changing it to English. And this is how they are using tool for unethical purposes, which is very, very bad. Common phrases are not excluded. Suppose there are definitions are there, and these definitions are needed. Suppose there is an algorithm in the paper, and you need to publish that algorithm again. The only subject expert or reviewer can tell us, okay, this algorithm is needed in your second paper also. Machine cannot, a tool cannot. A tool will identify it as a plagiarism or a similarity. Text for you have already taken permission, and patchwork plagiarism. Patchwork plagiarism is very interesting. Again, you are basically playing with the language, and you are making into patches so that you can reuse it. But don't use your energy and effort in doing all this. Use your energy for actually doing original work that helps to get the quality. Self-plagiarism, as I already said, it is a plagiarism where you are reusing your own thing again. So it's better to give references rather than republishing that content. Data fabrication and falsification, as I said, data is more and more available. So you are basically using someone else's data. And again, people use their own data. See, interestingly, I have seen a paper. What they have done, they have changed the resolution of the images. They have published the paper with some images, and finally they have changed they have changed languages here and there, and they changed the resolution of the images, and resolution was completely different. You use electronic microscope or something like that, everything will digital microscope, the images, you change the resolution, whole thing changes like anything. But this is completely a corrupt way of publishing your work. Do you know how many papers are published by Einstein? You all know Albert Einstein, right? Yes or no? Yeah, thank you. How many papers are published by Einstein? Any idea? 5 papers. Thankfully, there were no number games then. Everybody is running behind numbers. So, I can give you another example. There is a guy in IIT Delhi. His name is Tapan Gandhi. He was working with blind students. There's a collaborative project of MIT and IIT, and he was actually working in that project. And he has worked with 600 plus people, blinds, and this project has given eyes back to them. It's an amazing project. He worked for 7 years, not published any paper. After 7 years, he published one paper, and that paper became one of the most cited paper in Nature. So numbers are always not the right thing. Not the quantity is the best thing. Quality is very, very important. General advice, whenever you are actually copying something, put into quotation. Give credits to the original author. If author is not aware how to give you permission back, please go to the publisher. And if you are reusing figures and tables for any purpose, if you are using figures and tables which are already published, then please take permission back and then only use it. Easy to take permission. Suppose your paper is, like this chapter is published, your paper is published, go there, down there, you will find reprints and permission link. Go to reprints and permission link, just click that. A new page will open, rights link page, and you can go to rights link and immediately you can take permission back for reusing it. Beware of this word, or rather be aware of these words. Quickly I will tell you, there are words like paper mill. Mill means factory. So paper mill means in a factory where papers are getting produced. So that is why that is a problem, because suppose Jagdish sir is working in a different area and my area is very different, but we are very good friends for last 10 years. We know each other. So he is publishing a paper and he says, sir, aapka naam dal do? Why not? One publication in my name, right? Next time when I will publish a paper, I will do the same favor with Harish. So we are basically milling, creating papers with different people when they are not in the domain also, and we are creating this. Tortured phrases, very interesting. Phrases being tortured. How? Suppose there is a paper on smart city, and I have copied this from different places, different papers, and I don't want that tool to identify them. So instead of smart city, twisted it, brilliant city. So brilliant and smart, we are smart to fail that tool. This tortured phrases. These are the terms which you can go to your friend Google again and check more about them. That is why I'm talking about them. Citation manipulation. This is a number game which people are doing. So paper mill and citation manipulation are done by senior people, not junior people. Then you have SciGen papers. SciGen papers are a tool developed by MIT students in the year 2003. They wanted to show the world that there are many papers published in conferences which are not actually reviewed at all. So they created this tool where you can go, you put your name and say generate, a paper in computer science will be generated automatically. If you want to generate in a particular area, you can give some keywords. It will generate the paper. Each sentence is correct, but sentence to sentence there is no meaning. So that is what they wanted to show the world. Even these papers, and interestingly, they created a fake scientist. They submitted these papers, and the H index of that scientist is 29. So just imagine how many SciGen papers are already published. Then you have robo-writers. These are all LLM, large language model. You all know very well. Chat GPT, which is becoming a part of life. It's not bad, I can tell you. Anything which is actually helping you to improve your work is not bad. But interestingly, when you have a research paper, please don't go to Chat GPT and try to improve that, because you are saving your work in the server. Your unpublished work gets saved on the server, and immediately that will be used by someone else, because ChatGPT is going to be taking that, because you are training the tool. You are doing it in a wrong way. And finally, you have predatory journals. This is for people who have already published. I want to alert you, there are predatory journals, journals which are not good. How to find them? Easy way is go to a list which is called Beall's list. B-E-A-L-L-S. B-E-A-L-L-S. Beall's list. Just go and check before submitting that that journal is there in Beall's list or not. If it is there in Beall's list, that means it's a predatory journal. Now quickly, in 10 minutes, less than that, I will tell you some author tools which you can go and explore, you can go and check, and you can use them. This is a tool which is developed by this company called Edance, a Japanese company. This is my journal selector. That means if you have written a paper and you want to submit that paper and you want to know where you want to submit, then usually we submit from our own readings, right? Wherever we read, same kind of papers we want to publish there only. But this tool will tell you about many different journals which will be helpful for you. So what exactly you have to do, go to this Edance website. This is a free tool. You can see 28,000 plus journals are listed in this. So you go and put your abstract title and you say search. It will actually match your abstract and it will show some 15 to 20 journals which are actually good for your, our tool is basically selecting journals for you. So you can see whether they are really useful for you or not. If it is useful, then you can submit it. Similarly, in Springer Link, this is a Springer website, Springer Link. You go to Springer. This is actually, Edance is working all across different publishers. This particular tool is only working for Springer journals, which is like 3,500 journals. So you can find a journal which is useful for you in Springer also. Reviewer Finder. Whosoever has published, they know very well. Now journals are asking all the authors to give the names of reviewers. They want you to recommend reviewers. They are not going to send your paper to those reviewers, but they are basically creating panels. So that similar kind of people can be approached for different papers. I see this tool very interesting for a different purpose altogether. That is for networking. If you are finding a reviewer in your domain, in your niche area of research, that means you are trying to find people who are working in that area. So they can collaborate with you also. Write to them. You know, when suppose someone writes to you that I am also working in this area and I want to collaborate with you, maybe a guy in Europe, how would you feel about it? Similar feelings people have when you write to them that you are working in this area and you find people, right? Authors and reviewer tutorials. See, these are the pages which are basically developed for new researchers so that you can go and learn. These are all need-based places where you have a need and you can go, but you really need to know where you can go and read. This is a page where, you know, if you go and spend some time, maybe 30 days, half an hour each day, then you don't need any kind of workshops anymore for publication. Shared It, a tool which was developed almost 6 years ago by Springer Nature. What exactly we have done? When an author publishes a paper, what is the first thing they want to do? They want to share it with their community. How you can do it? With Shared It. Any paper published in Springer Nature, you can actually share it with the community, because why this is important? because there is a possibility like this. Suppose I published a paper and Mukesh's institute is not subscribing that journal. So when his institute is not subscribing that journal, his students or the students studying there can only see the abstract. They cannot download the paper. There are ways to download which are unethical, I know. You will say there is a Sci-Hub, but don't go there. Ethically, they cannot download. If they want to download it, then they have to pay. So without that, if I go and it works in a reverse way. Suppose I want to download a paper and I say, oh, my institute has now. So you can write to the corresponding author of the paper. Please share it with me. If shares it, you can have the paper with you, right? See, interestingly, if this whole community works in such a trust, and when I joined this organization, so I asked they said we give these papers to them, we give these papers to them. I was asking my vice president, if we are just going and giving papers to people, how are we earning? How our families will run? So he said, if we are giving a paper free, suppose Jagdish is working on swarm intelligence on drones or something, on paper. Just a random I am talking about. So the people who are working in his area, niche area, only can download those papers. This is not a novel by Chetan Bhagat that everybody wants to read. So you are going to that author, and if that author is downloading it, they are also coming back to us next time. So it is a community of trust and completely, So that is why I said 2% people are only unethical. ORCID ID. This is very, very important. This is like an Aadhaar card for researchers. This is a correct recognition of your name because people have common names. Like if there are many people will be named with Anindo Bose. And they will be recognized wrongly for their paper and cited wrongly if they don't have a unique identity. So if you have an ORCID ID, you have an unique identity. So please go and have a ORCID ID. This is a page where you get to learn about the policies. springernature.com/in/policies. Publishing policy, editorial policy, book publishing policy. And interestingly, resource data policies. Because we are talking about data very much. How ignorant we are. The other day, there is an institute in Northeast, and we were having a conference over there. And 3 keynote authors are basically talking about it. And I was one of them. And when I finished, everything was getting recorded, like here, everything was getting recorded. So they came to me and they said, I said, what are you going to do with these recordings? They said, sir, we will put this on YouTube tomorrow. You know the kind of likes you will get. And I said, have you taken my consent? They said, no, sir. I said, have you taken consent from other 2 keynote speakers? They said, no. I said, so you are basically violating laws. You have not taken any consent from me and you are publishing me on a platform. I can sue. So people need to know the policies well. So we have a research data policy and we have an open access publication policies. As I said, 44% papers are like right now open access, whatever we have published in 2023, and targets are going higher and higher every year. OA funding, OA, open access, I said it's author pay model, author pays. But actually author never pays. It's either paid by funders, institutes, sponsoring bodies, they only pay for it. So what exactly is happening here? For OA funding, you have a page like this where you can go and you can see who are the funders. There are more than 75 funders or institutes who are funding books and more than 300 funders for journals. So you have to go and ask for funding. In life, whenever you ask, then only you get. Maybe you don't get the full OA thing, but maybe they give you partial funding, but at least you will get something to start with. Springer Briefs. I just put this thing because this is a book which we have started almost 12 years ago. This is a book for people who are doing cutting edge technology works. This is a book which we basically people who are writing their first book, because I was talking to Soumya in the morning and we were discussing about this whole thing, that there are papers like of 70, 80 pages which you cannot go and publish in a journal, which you cannot publish as a book. Where to go? This is the answer. Where you can publish it as a small book. Copyright remains in author's name. That is very interesting because it is something very niche area you are working in and you want to publish it first and then again try to publish a journal paper later. At least you have the copyright, so you don't have any issues. Quickly done. So it's a quick book and very interesting model. Before I conclude, I will just talk about 4 different books which are very useful for you. First one is How to Write and Publish a Scientific Paper. This is written by Barbara Gastel is basically there because Robert Day is already passed away, and Barbara Gastel is alive. This is the 8th edition. 7th is, I think, freely available, and 9th is already out. So you can go and I can tell you, these are not expensive books. You can buy them on different platforms. You only have to skip couple of McDonald's. So you can go and buy them. Second one is Getting It Published. This is written by William Germano. This talks about the nuances of publication, like all the kinds of terminologies which are used. It's more like a glossary book where you will find a lot of information. Third is a textbook written by Sana Lu, and this is not used in India for textbook, but in other countries. But this is a very interesting read. And finally, we have a book which is for writing for publication, which is recently published 2-3 years ago, talks about scholarly tools. Because I have just shown you few tools, and there are many, many tools. The best way to understand a tool is just go, download it, download the trial version, use it. Then you get to know whether it's useful or not. If it's useful, keep it, use. If it's not, just abandon it. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. This is my email ID for you guys, and if you face any kind of issues, if you have any questions, because I believe questions are not stupid, only answers are. So if you have any questions, you can ask me. If you have any questions later for using these tools, anything related to publication, please write to me. I always give answers. It's always delayed, I can tell you, because I travel a lot, but I always try to answer every questions which are raised. Thank you once again. Thanks a lot. Questions are never stupid, but questions are always difficult to ask. Yeah, please, thank you.
Good morning, sir. My name is Arjun. I'm from DBRAI, BTech EC, final year. So my question is, you have mentioned that a website SciHub, which give you the paper extracted by download. You can download it from the SciHub. So how do you? Yes, that is illegal. So how do you cope up with it that your content should be copyrighted, or you can say only authorized people should download it? How do you deal with the SciHub? Because it gives access to.
Living in an ideal world, unfortunately, we talk about ethics, but there are you can say the kind of publication they are doing, they are just copying contents from different publishers and making it available freely for people, right? This is the wrong way of, illegal way of working. But many countries are behind them, and there are a lot of mirror websites, mirror servers are there. Like if you, we can go and only fight legally with people. We cannot illegally fight with anybody. So once the mirror is, one is down, another mirror will open. It's very difficult fight, and our legal teams are always with that, they are doing it. But interestingly, there is no way to stop it. The only way to stop it is just people don't use it. Correct. We cannot go and tell everyone don't use that. Sometimes these places are quite useful for many researchers, and there are many low-income countries. That is why we are stressing so much on open access. The reason is because all these low-income countries, they can actually go and download content freely, which is very, very important. Because each and every country they don't have a revenue like big countries like US, UK and all that, where they can go and buy. See, if you ask me to buy a Springer book, it's not easy. I will not buy a Springer book for my son, for his research, because it will be costing me something around 300 euros. And 300 euros is not a small amount. So always there are ways. So that is why people go and do all these illegal things. But if you know the legal way of doing it, as I said, you have shared, you have different things. So that is why we go to places, we talk to students and we talk to faculties where they can find legal ways to handle things. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thanks very much, sir. Eventually, all technology starts with promise of making humans better, but we end up speaking integrity, ethics, and plagiarism. So it is such a sad reality that we as academicians, researchers, where integrity and ethics have to be the foundations, but we end up in this sessions like that. But sir, it was really an eye opener. And students, if you're interested to work towards any problem or bringing simple solutions, you can always share the knowledge whether you get promising results or not. But the learning through your experience can be always shared. And Anindo sir has beautifully brought us this platform of Springer, and I hope you have all had a very valuable learning time. Okay, our next keynote speaker, sir, could you please display his credentials? I invite Dr. J.C. Bansal sir from South Asian University, New Delhi, who will be speaking with us on computational intelligence. We have other non-computer science students also. For those, computational intelligence is a branch of artificial intelligence where you develop powerful algorithms, and sir is working on nature-inspired algorithms. And these algorithms and systems are so powerful that they can be trained with a lot of data, and they can work on giving solutions through their learning from the data. So let's hear from Dr. J.C. Bansal sir. And as we go through his profile, sir is associate professor at South Asian University, and he's also visiting faculty at Maths and Computer Science, Liverpool Hope University of United Kingdom. He holds a visiting professorship at NIT Goa, India. Sir has obtained his PhD in mathematics from IIT Roorkee before joining SAU New Delhi, and he has worked as in teaching professions in BITS Bilani as well. His primary area of interest is swarm intelligence and nature-inspired optimization techniques. And you can see all natural names here, from spider monkey, which is applied to various problems in the engineering domain. So engineering students can find your relevance here, I guess. And he has published over 70 research papers. He's been a chief editor in many international journals, including Elsevier and Springer. And sir is presently the general secretary of SERS, who is hosting along with our institute today of this conference. Sir has received gold medal at UG and PG level. So we have got a wonderful personality. Let's please make use of this time learning with sir. We welcome you, sir.
Thank you so much, and good morning, everybody. Actually, if you give me a challenge to climb the Mount Everest, I feel more comfortable than speaking after him. He has raised a wall, and it's actually a challenge after speaking such a terrific speaker. Actually. I'm a student of swarm intelligence. Computational intelligence is an umbrella word for the swarm intelligence. Computational intelligence is the area of sorry, I'm speaking only through audio. No slides are there. So computational intelligence is the area of studies where you design intelligent agents. Intelligent agents means anything can be intelligent. Intelligent maybe this might. Maybe this is an agent, and we can make some algorithms, intelligent artificial intelligence, which can make this intelligent. For example, if my voice is too low, I speak slow, then the mic can adjust its volume automatically. Then it becomes intelligent in itself. So nowadays, your laptop, whenever you open it adjusts the brightness. To mobile adjusts the brightness according to the light. All these are systems which are intelligent. So there are certain algorithms behind the machines to make such kind of intelligent machines. These all algorithms falls under the area of computational intelligence. Computational intelligence has majorly three branches of study: swarm intelligence, is one of them, evolutionary computation is another, and the third one is the neural network-based algorithm. So deep learning, all these machine learning algorithms, reinforcement learning are actually the neural network-based algorithms. Another is the evolutionary, where the intelligence occurs because of competition among the individuals in a population. Swarm intelligence is relatively recent as compared to all these two branches. Swarm intelligence is a recent addition in this category that is based on the cooperation among the individuals. I know something, you know something, let's help each other, and we learn both. So that is the algorithms which are based on the cooperation among the individuals in a group are falls under the area of swarm intelligence. One very recent application that I started working in the end of 2018, around November 2018, I started working one very emerging recent area of application of the swarm intelligence is the drone swarm. That actually I want to discuss on something for the young students because this is the area which is less explored by the senior researchers, by the mature researchers. This is the area which is actually developed and worked on by the young researchers, UG students, PG students, just passed out students. They are actually working on this area. Because of this, my research interest in the drone farm, because of a project that I'm doing on in the field of drone farm, I traveled throughout India. I met many drone swarm startups or drone startup companies, and I found that young researchers, young boys are making those companies, and actually the companies are becoming very successful. They are supplying not only to Indian authorities but to the international authorities, international bodies also. For example, there are many companies, drone startups in India which are actually exporting the drones to the neighboring countries, particularly SAARC countries, right? Somehow I was also one minor instrumental to that project also, with the help of Indian Air Force. So I want to introduce this word drone swarm. What is this drone swarm? Actually, it is a collection of the drones. It is a group of drones which collaborate with each other and fly autonomously. Autonomously means there is no operator, there is no drone pilot who is controlling the drones. Suppose, just imagine a situation where 50 drones are flying together. 50 drones are flying together autonomously. They are executing the mission autonomously without any central control, without any GCS control, ground control station. GCS, whenever all GCS is the ground control station. So without any GCS control, all these 50 drones are flying together, navigating together. If there is any hurdle, if there is any obstacle in between, they are avoiding that obstacle autonomously. Even the live obstacles are also avoided autonomously and executing mission in full autonomous way. The algorithms, the study of the algorithms, the development of the algorithms for this purpose, to make this system complete autonomous, are actually studied under the area of the drone swarm. So the drone swarm is actually a group of drones, autonomous system of drones which are designed to perform some particular task. This task is important. Actually, in the beginning retreat ceremony after the 26th January, I hope you must have watched on the news channels, 1,000 drones, 200 drones. So it is also a startup. It started from the IIT Delhi. I know when this startup was started. I know the person also. So they perform all these shows. Let me tell you, it is not a drone farm. It is actually a predefined program. That okay, after this particular moment, all the drones will gather at that particular location. So every drones X, Y, Z are fixed actually. That okay, X, Y, Z and T. Sorry, T for time, right? T is fixed. Means if this is the time, you will go here. You will go here. So it is a pre-programmed mission. It is a pre-programmed mission. So I'm not interested in making these kind of drone
Drone swarm means
if there is
if there is any live situation, the drones can take the decision.
For
So
that,
for that,
there are
there are certain algorithms, intelligent algorithms, artificial intelligence, computational intelligence based algorithms, which are implemented on the onboard computer. Because there is an onboard computer that is nowadays very famous. New computers are coming up. So they can process the information in real time
and can
and can take the decisions in real time. Earlier, actually, the problem was the processing time on the onboard computer, which are nowadays reduced because of the high-end computers, onboard high-end computers with the less weight. And nowadays, India has developed the drone swarms with the capacity of one side 50 kilometers, and they have the capacity to return also. If we want to make the Kanakaji drones, then we can attack even to the 100 kilometers, because 50 kilometers one side. We have developed this system that 50 kilometers can go execute the mission for 10 to 12 minutes. The execution time can be maximum 10 to 12 minutes and can come back also, right, autonomously with no central control. And this complete mission can be done. If we don't want our drones back, then we can attack up to the 100 kilometers. Just imagine the situation. If there is a situation of avalanche kind of situation where some people are stuck with the avalanche and you cannot find out. Of course, sending the humans to search those people is also dangerous. There is a flood-like situation. If there is a fire block in a building, if there is an earthquake, sending people, the humans is difficult, but searching those survivors through drone swarm can minimize the time and can save the life of the guards also. Right? So in those missions, drone swarm are working, of course, perfect, and primary application of the drone swarm, for which actually this concept came into being, is for the defense purpose. Nowadays, everybody is looking at the war that is going on, Israel and Iran and Russia and Ukraine. So you can see the usage of the drones and the drone swarm. Of course, there is a limitation of the drone swarm of the reliability. The reliability of autonomous system is not 100%. So definitely there is a chance that you are sending 100 drones and at the enemy's location only 20 drones reached. And of course, the enemy is also not sleeping. They have also the weapons. So they can also kill the drones. So now the next challenge to the computational intelligence algorithm developer is how to make your system robust, how to make a self-healing system. This concept is known as the self-healing. Means you are 100. So the algorithm is designed to execute a mission for 100 drones. But during the navigation or the enemy has killed 80 drones. Now you are 20. So how to replan the mission by itself, by artificial intelligence, onboard computer artificial intelligence, how to replan this system so that the 20 drones can execute the mission as much as possible. Right? So this is called the self-healing process. Then how to communicate with each other. If the 50 drones are communicating with each other, how they can communicate with each other. Means the communication topology. Like I can communicate to you via somebody else. Case is here, so I can say to something and he can say to you. This is one communication, and I can say to everybody. There are many communication topology. In mathematics, we develop actually the different kind of communication topology or network topology. In mathematical terms, we call it network topology. In graph theory, we study. In the calculus, also we study this. One human is the one human topology is the one which is being applied. The most efficient one is the ring topology. In the swarm intelligence based algorithm, that is also find the best suited, and similarly it is found the best suited for the drone swarm also. So the communication topology is a challenge, self-healing is a challenge for the researchers who are into the drone swarm research. Another is that the distance between the drones while flying. Of course, ultimately it's a machine. It will take some time to process the information. So if the two drones are flying too close, if the two drones are flying too close and some decision is to be taken, suppose this computer has taken one decision to move in this direction, but this drone has not taken that decision, they can collide with each other. So to avoid the collision, to make the consensus quickly as possible among all the drones, because this information is also to be shared in the ad hoc network, in the local network, and the process is also to be done. When the birds fly together, they do the millions calculations in milliseconds, right? So that kind of computation is to be developed on the onboard computer to simulate the natural behavior of birds to these artificial birds. I always call drones the birds, right? Because actually we want to make these birds like the natural birds, right? So how to manage this distance between the two drones so that if there is a delay in the computational process, this delay can be managed to avoid the collision. So this minimum distance, what should be the minimum distance with each other? This is the one challenge, and it always depends upon many parameters. Actually, it is a very complex situation, this minimum distance, because it depends upon the processor on board, it depends upon the speed, it depends upon the AGL of the drone, of the flying also. So all these parameters are to be fine-tuned, and accordingly the minimum distance is to be defined. Now, the maximum distance is also to be defined. The quick answer may be that don't make it too close. If there is a chance of 1 meter collision, then make it 10 meters. Just take too much time, too much space. In that case, what will happen? The first drone and last drone will have too much distance with each other. In that case, it is called the diameter of the swarm, that the maximum distance between any two drones in the swarm. If this is too large, then they can lose the connection. Then they may not be able to connect with each other. In that case, your swarm will not remain swarm. So you cannot increase the distance with each other, right? So there is a minimum distance and there is a maximum distance. They should not go beyond that particular distance. So what should be that maximum distance? What should be that minimum distance? What should be the communication topology? What should be the self-healing property? What should be the number of another one big challenge for the researchers, that if you have to search your enemy or the survivors in suppose 10 by 10 kilometer area, and your survivor size is suppose 10 meters, maximum 10 meter size is there, or 1 meter size is there, survivor size. You are searching for human being, you may be searching for a particular animal. If there is a survey in particular forest area, that how many lions are there, how many tigers are in this particular area, then your object may be of that particular size. So for that particular size in that particular area, what should be the minimum number of drones in the drone farm? How many drones are required to execute that mission in that particular time? Another challenge. All these challenges are actually still open. The research area is very much emerging research area. Those who start working early the work, early the publication, early the recognition, early the startup also. Drone farm, my objective of this talk is just to introduce you, to excite you in this very interesting emerging area of research, area of industry also. Actually, it is not only for the research, it is for industry also. If you, of course, is planning for a startup, can start working. If you are planning for the research, can start working in this area. Applications are myriad applications. Not only in defense, in the civilian applications, I told you that HADR scenario, human assistance and disaster relief scenario are there, where you can apply these. I already told you, flood-like situation, firebug is there, avalanche is there, earthquake is there. So for these kind of situations, the drones can help the society better as compared to the forces. Another thing may be the surveillance. You have the guards on every corner. You can plan some tethered drone. There is a tethered drone who are powered continuously from the ground. Means there is a one rope, there is one string that is attached to the drone. So no need to land the drone for the recharge and then take off. continuously forward from the ground, and can one drone can guard the entire, for example, in this Andaman Nicobar, this is a very good place where you can always watch, you have to watch the enemies nearby or nearby countries in flight radars. In that case, these kind of applications are also there. And of course, if the one drone is, tethered drone is here, another tethered drone is there, the communication is required, and that communication, for that communication, drones from algorithms are required. So this is a very fascinating area of research for the industry, for the startups, for the studies also. If you have got any chance to study this particular fascinating area, explore it as much as possible. The applications, the scope of the drone farm is very much in the coming future. That's all from my side. Thank you so much.
Thank you, dear sir, for your enlightening speech. Yeah, we all know about drones, but this swarm drone is something new to us. And I hope our students are excited to know about this new thing. And empowering computers to act like humans or maybe much effective than humans in most challenging environments. And I see we are already in zone 5 of earthquakes. Landslides is a prevalent occurrence during heavy rainfalls. And for us, the climate is only rainy and summer. And we have 9 months of rain, 2000 of rainfall annually we receive. So a lot of naturally, rainfall-induced landslides are prevalent. And applications of drones in predicting this kind of this kind of random weather patterns is what we see it as a useful application. And apart from that, we also have indigenous tribes, tribal populations, and the populations are still we are unable to quantify. So using this kind of drone applications to actually arrive at their populations, because it's humanly or physically inaccessible areas, and due to their protection of tribal measures, we don't have that access. So I think drone applications will help them to quantify the actual existence of tribal community here. Thank you so much. You also helped us to identify the applications. I think we have a long way to go. Thank you so much. Do we have any questions for sir? Students? I hope you all like drones. So, if you have any questions, if you are very shy to ask you, please catch them during the lunch break. Okay? Feel free to network. Yeah, we have Arjun again. Thank you, Arjun.
So sir, till now we have seen the drone swarm which are showing air show that some Ramayana or something, some shows, air shows in drone swarm. So my question is, sir, if one drone hit another drone and it can cause a domino effect, that one drone destroy another and these destroyed parts are destroying other drones. So how can we prevent this domino effect of drones?
Two things. First is that drone show is not a drone swarm. I mentioned in my lecture also. It is a pre-programmed system. It's a pre-programmed system. Drone swarm. Actually in 2020 I defined this definition. Drone swarm is an autonomous group of drones. Autonomous group of
interactive drones.
Right, interactive. When the interaction is there, then they will definitely not collide with each other. They will maintain that particular distance with each other. If there is a collision kind of situation, then they will power. They will stop with each other. But in that drone source, everything is fixed. Everything is fixed. But if there is, by any chance, if there is a collision, then definitely it will be a domino effect. Definitely it will be a domino effect. And nobody can stop it. But there is always, in the program, there is always a stop. All these are artificial intelligence based program based. It's a finite state machine. Your computer is a finite state machine. How they can take decisions by themselves? So the decision is that if there is a distance between any two drones less than this, stop. So there is a very less chance that they will collide with each other. So you never see such kind of collision, right? the only the mistakes that they do, sometimes their lights goes off. Sometimes the lights goes off because of the battery issues. That's the only mistake that they can do. But this is a very rare chance. But if it happens, it will collide. Yes, domino effect will be there. Yes. But this is not a drone swarm. Drone swarms are actually not drone swarm. They are the most simple. There is a very famous software that is freely available. It's an open source RD pilot, right? RD pilot. So in the RD pilot, ARDPILO, RD pilot is a software where you can program any number of drones for these kind of missions. For these kind, whatever the shape you want to make, you just in that program there is a window. You just scroll the mouse and it will take automatically how many drones you want to make. 10 drones. So with the 10 drones they make a circle. With the 10 drones they make an arrow. Whatever. Right. So articulate is open source, free available, and these drones kind of things technically, scientifically are the most easy things. Our challenge is relatively bigger. Right. Without any program. Pre-program, because our enemy's actions are not predicted. We do not know where the actual object is, how they will behave it, what kind of obstacles will be on the way, right? In that case, we want to develop a system, we want to develop for that situation. And for that, onboard computer has to take the decisions, not the GCS. Right?
Thank you, sir. Any more questions?
Thank you so much. You can write back to me. My email ID, you can search. My name is Jagdish Bansal. So just Google and you will find my email ID. Thank you so much.
Thank you once again. We have wound up the session 10 minutes ahead of our scheduled time. Okay, so we now discuss for lunch. So the same venue where we had tea. And we are coming back at around 1:30 to start our sessions on paper presentations. 1:30, sir, for students. And before sir, sorry, there's one program, sorry. And photograph before that, ma'am, there's one thanks is pending. Okay, we'll give you time for that, not a problem. I would now request the coordinator of this day's conference, Mr. Abhishek Gupta, Assistant Professor, Electrical Engineering, to offer his vote of thanks.
Thank you, ma'am. Knowledge is power, but wisdom is using the knowledge wisely. A warm and graceful afternoon to our chief guest, Shri Gautam Gupta, Dr. J.C. Bansal, General Secretary, Soft Computer Research Society, New Delhi, Shri Anindya Bose, Executive Editor, Springer Group, Springer Nature Group, London, Shri Algu Sundram Sir, HOD, Computer Science and IT, HODs and FIs of other departments, authors, participating faculties, staff and my dear students. As we all know that saying, thank you is a respectful way to show appreciation towards the person, but these words would be this for our today's chief guest, who is a senior director from NIC, Andaman and Nicobar State Unit. On behalf of the Institute, I extend a hearty vote of thanks to our chief guest who has spared time from his busy schedule to grace the occasion. Your thoughts have enlightened our mind and have shown a new path. We are extremely thankful to our principal sir for his constant help and guidance throughout shaping this conference. We thank you for your guidance and for creating an environment where researchers and engineers, aspirants can thrive. Thank you, sir. A special thanks to our keynote speaker, Dr. J.C. Bansal and Mr. Anindya Bose for sharing their expertise and knowledge with us. Their talk has not given only knowledge, but taught us how to think like a scientist or like a researcher. True researchers uses their knowledge in the development of nation which would clearly understand from their talk. Today we had an opportunity to hear your thoughts, and this has surely encouraged us in our future endeavor. Thank you, sir. And even of this dimension cannot happen overnight. The wheels started rolling in advance, and special thanks and appreciation to the organizing team, coordinators for their tireless efforts and meticulous planning, which ensures the smooth conduction of this event.
A
A
heartfelt
heartfelt
thanks to
thanks
all
to
the
all
session
the session
chairs,
chairs,
authors,
authors,
moderators, and
moderators, and
participants
participants
whose
whose
active
active
participation has
participation
made
has
this
made this
conference a
conference
truly
a truly
enriching
enriching
experience.
experience.
From
From
technical
technical
support,
support,
Shri Mohan
Sri
Babu
Mohan
and
Babu and
team, thank
team,
you for
thank you for
ensuring that
ensuring that
all
all
session will
session
run
will run
seamlessly in
seamlessly in
person
person
and
and
virtual. Your
virtual. Your
expertise and
expertise
zeal
and
are
zeal are
greatly
greatly
appreciated.
appreciated.
A special
A special
thanks to
thanks to
goes to
goes to
electrical team,
electrical team,
campus staff,
campus
and
staff,
PS
and
system
PS
staff
system
for their
staff for
collective
their
efforts
collective
in
efforts in
providing
providing
an
an
uninterrupted,
uninterrupted,
safe,
safe,
supportive
supportive
environment for
environment
this
for this
event.
event.
At
At
last, but
last,
not the
but not the
least, a very
least, a
big
very
thanks
big
to
thanks
Hotel
to Hotel
Management
Management
Department
Department
for
for
providing a
providing a
wonderful
wonderful
hospitality.
hospitality.
Without them,
Without them,
the
the
conference
conference
cannot be
cannot be
in this
in
shape.
this shape.
Thank you
Thank
all
you
once
all
again
once again
for your
for your
invaluable
invaluable
contribution
contribution and
that will
participation that
make
will
the
make the
conference
conference
indelible and
indelible and
impact
impact
experience.
experience.
Thank you all.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'll once again welcome you all to the ITI 2024 International Conference on Information Technology and Intelligent Technical Session. So, kindly allow me to introduce the session chairs for today's technical session. Dr. Asma Rani, Assistant Professor, Faculty in charge of Department of Computer Science, DBRAI. She holds PhD from BITS Pilani campus, specializing in database and social networking analysis with over 18 years of teaching experience. Her research interest spans databases, data analytics, machine learning, information systems, security and fuzzy system. She has published more than 13 research papers in international conference and prestigious journals including Springer and ABDC index publication. Additionally, she serves as an active reviewer for Springer journals and IEEE conference. I welcome you, ma'am, for the technical sessions. So there are 3 papers are going to be present in this session. The first paper ID is 140, DLA HDD, a novel deep learning architecture for early heart disease detection, presented by Soumya R. Goyal. Ma'am, you ready? Yeah. Paper ID 140.
It will work with this. Good afternoon, everyone. This is Dr. Soumya Goyal, and I'm Assistant Professor in Manipal University, Jaipur, Rajasthan. And here I'm presenting my work, and the work is basically to detect the heart disease. Heart disease detection using the deep learning architecture. So just let's have a quick look at what the paper states and what the presentation is. So let's start with the beginning, that what the heart disease is all about. Every one of us know that in today's life there is a lot of stress. Our eating habits, our living style is very unhealthy, and you are hearing, maybe you are hearing about the daily heart strokes, heart failures. So the idea is, if we have regular health checkups and we do have the biomarkers like your health, your blood pressure, your sugar level, cholesterol level, which is readily available in the data sets. You can access the Kaggle data set or StatLog data sets. So if we apply this data to train our deep learning architecture so that we can automatically detect the features, and that can be used to predict the future heart disease. So that is the whole idea. And you can have a look at this. The idea is that in this paper I have proposed a deep learning architecture, and I have named this as a DLA-HDD, Deep Learning Architecture for Heart Disease Detection. It is basically to predict the heart diseases from the existing database, or you can apply it on the live by recording the biomarkers for the patients. Like if you're recording the live data set for your subjects, and you are applying that data to predict that may or may not that person can have a heart stroke or not. So that is the whole idea. And I have used basically the data set from the Kaggle. There are so many heart disease data sets already available. This data set is particularly is not that much big. It is only having 1025 records and 11 features are there. The idea is the deep learning architecture that extracts the feature by its own self. There are already numerical features, but it is learning the you can say the non-linear relationship among the features. So let's have a look at the related work, but before that I would like to explain you the architecture which is proposed in the paper. So you can see that here are the 11 features, already recorded features. You can see the biomarkers of the patient. Then there is a deep layer. First up there is a z-score normalization. After that I have applied a fully connected layer. Then mesh normalization, another fully connected rel, and the feature, the activation function that is uses rectified linear unit. And then there is an output. Output size is just 2 neurons because there are only 2 classes, healthy or not healthy, or you can say the heart disease present or not present, 0, 1, you can say this. So this is the basic architecture, and this is a short glimpse at the related work, because there is so many literature work. These are working using the machine learning models, deep learning models. So I have opted with these 3 latest works. One is from 2022, another 2 are from 2023. They have applied deep learning models, CNN or LSTM, and the accuracy is mentioned like you can see 91.7, and another reference 12, there's an accuracy of 89, and so on. So you can have a detail when the paper will be published online. You can have the access to the entire literature, or the extended version of the paper will be very soon available online, so you can have the access to the related literature completely. And these are the results which are recorded after the experimentation. You can see the confusion matrix here. This is the predicted class, that is the actual class. So you can clearly see the not so healthy means the disease, heart disease is present and detected, the true positives. You can see the value, the results are very good. And similarly, no disease means healthy heart, actual and predicted. Again, very good. False positives are only 4 and false negatives are only 5. I have mentioned this is the entire data set is 1025 records, and this is the testing performance. Training and testing that has been done. So this is the testing performance, and it is the another metric. You can see the ROC, the area under the ROC curve. You can see for the healthy class and not healthy class. I hope you understand the ROC, the receiver operator curve. We are measuring the true positive rate and false positive rate, and after plotting this we get the curve. And idea is to cover the maximum area under the curve with the x-axis, and you can see it is almost touching this. And here are the metrics. It is 99.72%, which is almost touching 100%. And these are the precision, recall, F measure, and accuracy. Accuracy is 97.27, but accuracy is not the only metric you can rely upon, because the data is imbalanced one. That's why it is important that we cover F measure and AUC. So I have covered all 5 metrics. After that, I have compared it with the existing literature. Here you can see These are 3 papers already published. I am the author for that. I have taken my old literature for the comparison. This is with the artificial neural network and feature selection applied. Second one is support vector machine with feature selection applied. And third one is decision tree with feature selection applied. These are taken because all 3 are from machine learning models and feature selection has been done. That is the one key feature that separates the machine learning model and the deep learning models. In the deep learning models, the feature extraction is automatic. And in the machine learning, you have to craft for the hand-crafted features like there. So I have taken these 3 literatures, and another 3 are basically, one is convolution neural network, another is deep neural network. These are the names written by the authors. And another one is a combination of BiLSTM and CNN. So I have compared it on the basis of accuracy and AUC, because only accuracy we cannot rely upon. Again, the reason is the same, the data is imbalanced. So I have compared the accuracy and AUC. Accuracy is blue bar, and AUC is this orange bar. You can see this is the proposed model with the 97.37% accuracy and 99.7 AUC, and it is far better than the existing ones. But we cannot conclude that the proposed model is better than the existing ones without any statistical testing. So I have conducted a non-parametric statistical test, the Friedman and Over test, and here are the metrics, the results. You can see 0.0156, right? And I have taken the confidence level 95%. So value is less than 0.05. So I can say yet the difference is meaningful. It is not just by chance. And another thing I have plotted the ROC curves for all the models that I have taken from the literature for the comparison. And you can see this is the curve for the proposed model covering the maximum area, that is 99.7%. So I can say after the statistical testing that the proposed model deep learning architecture for the heart disease detection is performing well and better than the selected literature. So we can conclude it like that. This paper proposes a novel, or you can say a new contribution, deep learning architecture over the Kaggle based heart disease detection dataset that has 11 features in itself, and the deep learning architecture learns or trains on this data set, and the irregular relationships or the nonlinear relationships are learned, and when it is used for the prediction, it gives the correct results with the 97% accuracy and 99% approximate AUC. So it is giving good results, and I'm trying to extend the work for the journal also. That's it. Thank you. And these are some references. You can find it with the complete paper. So that's all. If you have any questions, then you may please ask.
Thank you, Dr. Soumya ma'am. You finished well within the time. Any questions from the audience?
Yes, please, any questions, feel free to ask.
So, session sir, first we'll finish with the question from session sir, then we'll move on to the audience.
Okay.
Over to you.
Good afternoon, Soumya. So first of all, your paper is good, right? I want to ask, you have used here Kaggle dataset. Do you think it is good for publishing the papers? Because that dataset is very, very small.
That's what I said.
This is
yes,
not okay for doing the research.
Actually, ma'am, in the Kaggle, there are 3 data sets. One is from Cleveland, another one is StatLog. There are 3 different data sets, and their extended versions are also there with the 10,000 records also. So it is just a miniature version of the work I have carried out. I have clearly mentioned that I have submitted the work for a journal, and it is just a part of that. The point is the model. The data set is available with the numeric features.
But when we are comparing about results and all, na? Right? We are comparing about the results here, because whenever our data set is small, obviously we will have a very good model, right? Whenever our data set is small, you already know about this thing. If the data set is small, obviously there will be a variance will be very low, right? Obviously our results will be very, very good. If you will have only the 5 records, then obviously you can easily find out, we can have even 100% accuracy also, right? So whenever we are publishing the papers and all, please do not, for your work only, not for publishing the papers, For your work, for your experimentation only, you can consider the Kaggle dataset, but not for publishing the paper, because maybe you will get 100% accuracy, but your dataset is small. There is no variant kind of the datasets there. Like you have compared your paper with some of the papers of art, whether they have considered the same dataset.
Only that reason is there that I have used that data set. If the data set is not same, you cannot compare the results.
Yeah, that's why I said whether they have used this same 1500
and
records.
the papers are replicated, means they are repeated with the experimentation, only then the results are compared.
They have used the same data set?
That's why I
Same
mentioned
Kaggle.
these papers only, otherwise the literature is very large. The data set is same and the experimentations are repeated, and only after that the results are recorded.
So please take this suggestion.
Yes, ma'am.
Do not
Yeah.
consider the
Yes,
Kaggle
yes.
dataset for this thing, right?
Yes.
Another thing, how many hidden layers you have taken here?
There are only two fully connected layers are there.
Okay.
One is before the ReLU function, and another one is just for the output. One is for learning the features, and second is just to flattening. The first one is just flattening and learning the relationships, and second one is just comparing, converting it to the, because I want only 2 neurons in the output layer. So that is just for the conversion.
So how you did the pooling?
Pooling, ma'am, actually it is done like I have decided that there are n features, like 11 features are there. So I have taken the range from n by 2 to 2n. Means you can say by 6 to 22. I have just changed the numbers, and only then I have decided what will be the size. The pooling is done with the pooling layer itself.
Nee, that's why I'm saying ki in the pooling.
Ma'am, the data set is not image data set. That is the uniqueness of this model. Otherwise, CNN is not CNN actually. It is a deep learning. I have not named it CNN.
Yeah.
So CNN is suitable only for the image data set. It is not image data set. It is numeric data set.
That's in the
that's
the
why
pooling is happening, na?
Pooling layer is there, but we cannot define the filters are there. It's not working like
That's
that.
it,
The data is numeric, and it is learning the non-linear relationship among the features, so that it can learn from that and use the prediction. And second thing, the size of the data set. It is about, if we using the deep learning model, then it is mandated the data set should be large.
Yeah, but
Yes,
you have
otherwise you have to use a
small,
machine learning model, right? But these papers from the literature, they have used the deep learning models, and that's why I didn't use the CNN, because CNN is specifically for the image-based data set, and the data set is not image-based. That's why I applied just the deep learning layers, deep layers. It is not a deep learning, it is not convolution neural network first up, it is not any pre-trained models. I have myself crafted this version using the dense layer, that's all. It's actually is a neural network model, but the layers are not, they are dense, they are not sparse. That is the difference.
Here you have explained only your confusion matrix with the testing set, testing part, where
Because
only
it
around
is a conference
150
paper, and I have the limited time to explain the things. If I
but
write
at
a
least you
journal,
have to show main results, na?
These
How
are the
it
main
has
results.
performed, how it has performed in the training also.
Right.
Like in that training, because your confusion matrix shows only about the
Testing
records of
results.
150. In the training also you have to say ki how many records you have taken for the training, and in that training how it was performing, and in the testing how it was
we
performing.
can add
also.
that. We can extend the results in the slides. As per the requirement, we can extend the things. We can explain everything, but within the 8 minutes, I think these are the enough results to explain.
Okay then, take your suggestion, take this suggestion,
Yeah,
and
sure,
do not
sure.
use
Thank
this
you,
Kaggle
ma'am.
data.
Yes, please. Anybody else wants to ask anything? Yes, please. There is some, I think, some participant is there, and he has some queries.
Good afternoon, ma'am. I would like to ask that what loss function you actually used in this model?
It is your model is it's you can say train SCG, जो आपका जो standard model रहता है, that's it.
Okay, ma'am. And what about the optimization function you used?
You don't have to. Gradient descent is working
Gradient,
fine.
okay.
It is listen. Let me tell you one thing clearly. It is a ordinary artificial neural network.
Okay.
ठीक है. The only thing is I have added one dense layer. जो deep learning architecture I'm saying, it is not convolutional layer, it is not any pre-trained model. I have just added fully connected layers and activation function has been replaced. Like gradient descent has been replaced with the ReLU. That's it. It is just a part of experimentation. It is just to motivate that how you can change the same data set, the numerical data set, but one layer. Artificial neural network, what we do? We use just one or two hidden layers. You can add multiple layers. You can do the experimentation. You can compare your results with the existing literature, right? So that's it. It's nothing much.
So, ma'am, in training, what was the batch size you use for training?
32.
32. Okay.
32.
Thank you, ma'am.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. I would like to call upon the next paper ID 400, Impact of Gate Metal Engineering on the Electrical Performance of SOI, MOH, FETS. Prashant Kumar, Lalit Raj, Neeraj Gupta and Rashmi Gupta. Paper ID 400. So you have 10 minutes, sir.
Hello. Yeah, good afternoon to everybody. So I am here to present my paper titled Impact of Gate Metal Engineering on the Electrical Performance of SOI MOSFETs. SOI stands for the silicon on insulation. The flow of presentation is like that. We have to move it like that: introduction, then the device that I have proposed, and then results and discussion, and then conclusion part, and then further for the references that have referred for this preparation of this research work. The idea of this work is that like we have many devices, means the main motto of using the device is the device should be fast enough, and second, that device should behave according to you. Means if you want that your device should be get switch off, it should get switch off. It doesn't behave abruptly, means you want to switch off your mobiles and then it doesn't get as per your directions. So main idea is behind that, means the performance of your device should be competent enough that it should behave in your manner, means it should be fast enough, and intacting the speed, the performance of the device should be as per the desired condition. So this is the main motto, and on this motto this device has been prepared. In the introduction part I will explain that some how this semiconductor industry is evolving, means we are going towards the miniaturization of the devices. Means earlier we are having the larger and larger computer, means nowadays we are having a computer as a mini, as a size of your fingertip, means as a fingertip also. मीन्स आपका जो डिवाइस का जो स्ट्रक्चर है पहले इतना बड़ा होता था, अब उसको आप मिनिएचराइज करके आपके एक फिंगर टिप के ऊपर भी अपना एक कंप्यूटर एप्लीकेशन आप उससे ड्रॉ कर सकते हो. तो ऑल आइडियाज बिहाइंड दैट मीन्स your device should be miniaturized enough, and parallelly it should do every task that it has to be done, that has to be that for that purpose it has been intended to made for. So keeping in this mind, this device has two structures. One is single gate silicon on insulation MOSFET, and the second is a double material gate silicon on insulation MOSFET. First, the term is silicon on insulation. Silicon on insulation means this term extra gate oxide has been put up between the substrate and the gate. So this is the title name, silicon on insulation. So this gate oxide term is as a insulation term. It provides the extra merit, means towards the short channel effect. That is, short channel effect means when we are miniaturizing our device, means our task should be that device should be fast enough. Fast enough means the channel length should be as small as possible. जैसे जैसे हम चैनल की लेंथ हम स्मॉल करते जाएंगे तो हमारे पास क्या उसकी स्पीड बढ़ती जाएगी, लेकिन उसके पहले ही जो जो उसके हमारे पास इफेक्ट्स आएंगे तो उसको भी हमें टैकल डाउन करना पड़ेगा. Like if you are moving from your this Ambedkar Institute to Port Blair Airport, there is many mode of commuting. Means by walk you can go, by car you can go. Means on the pocket you will check out your pockets and then you will move towards. Means how much you can expend, that will benefit towards the time optimization of your journey. So in that manner means we are doing the miniaturization of our channel length, but the performance of the device should be intact. Means in this particular area, means while we are doing the miniaturization of our device, means the abruptly charge carrier comes into play, that has to be tackled down. So for tackling that situation, we have made the two gate. Here you can see there is a single gate material, and the second I have made it as a double material. One is M1 and the second is M2. Two material gate has been that has been proposed here, that effectively control the channel, the electron transition of the electron transition from source to the drain, that effectively control the speed of the electron and enhance the speed of the device. This is the outcome that I have compared with the single channel and the double DMG type my silicon insulation device. In it you can see that the threshold voltage comes out to be approximately same in all the case. Means in case that like we are reducing the channel length, in this silicon on insulation means single device, the channel length is decreasing, the threshold voltage is decreasing downwards abruptly. But in the case of double channel, it is going as a constant voltage we are getting in the threshold voltage time. Second is DIBL. DIBL stands for the drain induced barrier lowering. Means it will, the effect of DIBL is that it gives the extra means it gives the prohibits the sudden transition of electrons from source to the drain. It actually controls this this mechanism of electrons. Means abruptly transition of electron from source to drain, that has to be controlled. That is the main parameter that is controlled by the DIBL parameter, and hence we are in actual we get actually in control the sudden transition of electron. Means we have controlled the speed and simultaneously have controlled the sudden or abrupt change in the device performance. That is the intended object of our this research work. These are the references that I have followed, and thanks for your listening. Questions?
Thank you, sir. I will hand over the mic to session chair.
I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
You have mentioned about the difference between single channel material and double channel material usage in one of the slides.
Yes, sir.
So how is it that only the mere change of substrate material can effectively control the flow of electrons from source to drain?
Okay. Actually, this please. This M1 material provides the different work function. This provides the 4.8 electron volt work function, and this will provide the 4.6 electron volt work function. So different work function provided by these materials. So that means this will control the sudden transition of electrons from moving here to here. Only and only. Yes, ma'am. Which one? This one, M1. M1 is taken as the some material of having the work function 4.8 electron volt. Means I've taken it as just for the work function only, madam. For the simulation purpose only. Yeah, material is there. Yes, sir, please.
Hello.
6 volt and 4.8 electron volt work function metal are used. So gold and MB, molybdenum is taken for this.
But these two materials, whatever may be it, these two materials will have its own parameters, right?
Yes.
So obviously wherever you put it, it will have its own result or its own effect. Will you be able to control that? That's what is the question.
So basically these two gates are used, M1 gate is used to control the flow of electrons.
Sudden flow of electrons.
Sudden flow of electron,
Okay.
and M2 is used to accelerate these electrons. So basically we are having two functions using these two gates. One is better control, second one is better acceleration of the charge carrier.
Okay, it is just for the sudden urge, right? To prevent the sudden urge, right?
Yes.
You are not controlling
So we
that
are-
this much amount of
So basically
electrons
we are
should.
creating a step function between M1 and M2. And this step function helps in reducing the short channel.
Sure. So you are not controlling the exact flow of how many number of electrons should flow. That is not there. It is only to control the sudden urge. Right. Got it.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I would like to call upon the next paper ID 401, Comparative Analysis of Adiabatic Techniques for Multiplexer Design. Prashant Kumar, Lalit Raj, Neeraj Gupta, Rashmita Gupta. Paper ID 401. So I have 10 minutes. Yes, sir, please.
Hello. Yes. Good afternoon, everyone. So I am Prashant Kumar, here to present the paper on comparative analysis of adiabatic technique for multiplexer design. And this paper is co-authored by my colleagues Lalit Rai, Neeraj Gupta, and Rashmi Gupta also. So these are the outlines of my paper. So I will be discussing the abstract, then introduction, then going to problem formulation, and result and discussion, finally comparative analysis of these results, and finally I will be concluding my paper. So in this paper, universal gates and multiplexer are simulated with 4 different adiabatic technique like conventional CMOS design, efficient charge recovery logic, that is called ECRL, then 2N2P adiabatic logic, and positive feedback adiabatic logic, that is called PFAL. The parameter like power dissipation and deviation in the load capacitance has been compared for these devices. A multiplexer and a universal gate have been designed with targeting with low power consumption in 180 nanometer CMOS process design using Tanner EDA tools. The adiabatic style consume low power when compared to traditional CMOS style. We all know that the PFAL consume the least power among all the logic structure when these devices were simulated. The SOC design faces the issue of power consumption, which degrade the performance at high computing systems. Multiplexer is one of the key component in SOC, that is system on chip systems. The researchers are looking for effective way to reduce the power dissipation for multiplexer. Few techniques are there at algorithm level, and some are at circuit level. So there are huge demand for low power design due to portable design. Today we are having more than 50% of our devices which are portable, having limited source of battery. The proper design style of these logic can help to reduce the power at the circuit level. The CMOS design provides low power dissipation. The reason is obviously known to everyone, so who is from the electronic background. In the problem formulation, coming on to the problem formulation, in data path and switching networks, MUX that is multiplexer is an essential component. The battery lifetime is of major concern for power dissipation. Then longer the battery life, less will be there the power dissipation, and higher will be the performance. Therefore, the need to control the power to operate multiplexer is a prime concern for acceptable level of performance. In this paper, a 2:1 multiplexer is designed with different adiabatic technique.
have been designed for low power consumption, again at the 180 nanometer CMOS design process. Then coming on to the result and discussion section. So firstly, I have designed a basic inverter, so which is a backbone of every digital circuit. So an inverter relies on the adiabatic switching principle designed using ECRL, 2N, 2N, 2P logic and PFAL technique. The 2N, 2N, 2P logic is a modification of ECRL logic, and it is used to reduce the coupling capacitor effects. The partial energy recovery circuit structure named as positive feedback adiabatic logic shows the lowest energy consumption. The core of all PFL gates is an adiabatic amplifier, a latch made by two PMOS and two NMOS that avoid the logic level degradation on the output node, that is out and out bar. So this is the basic schematic of adiabatic ECRL inverter. Here you can see there are two extra PMOS and two extra NMOS are used. So one extra NMOS and one extra PMOS is used. So this is 2N, 2N, 2P structure, where in place of this, these two again are used. Then coming on to PFAL inverter, so the structure is modified accordingly. And these are the output waveforms. So output waveform I have shown for one structure. So almost similar kind of output waveform are observed for all the circuits. And here this is input and this is our output for inverter. Then coming on to the NAND gate structure. So all the three structures are shown in this single slide. And when we go on to this output section, so this and this are input and this is out and this is out bar. Again going on to the NOR gate, so these three structures are there, and these are the output of NOR gate. Then coming on to our main topic, that is 2:1 multiplexer, which is the target of this paper. So this multiplexer is also designed using these three approaches other than conventional approaches. Conventional approach, for the conventional approach, result already exists. So we have compared those results with this one. And these are the output waveform for this multiplexer. Then these are the comparative analysis. These comparative analysis for the power dissipation with frequency. So here you can see that purple line, which is for PFAL for all the three designs. So for inverter we are having low power dissipation with varying with frequency. Again for NAND gate also the power dissipation is minimum in PFAL. For 2-input NOR gate also, and for multiplexer also, it is found that power dissipation is very low when we used PFAL design. And similar kind of result are also obtained for this load capacitance versus power dissipation. So here again we can see the purple line is already existing in lowest of all these graphs. So finally, in the conclusion part, the present analysis gives an overview of multiplexer and universal gate designed with 4 different logic style at 180 nanometer. In this paper, the main purpose is to optimize the performance of multiplexer using adiabatic logic. 4 different logic styles, that is conventional, ECRL, 2N, 2N, 2P logic and PFAL logic were implemented. The multiplexer designed with PFAL has the lowest average power dissipation with variation of frequency and with variation of load capacitance. Hence this low power multiplexer is useful for arithmetic circuit in most of the applications. Again, the analysis also revealed that the adiabatic logic gives the superior performance as compared to traditional approach in terms of power, even though the transistor count is more in some circuit, not in some circuit, but in almost all the circuits. For ultra low power requirement, the adiabatic logic is a good choice than CMOS logic circuit. So these are the references. One more point I can say that we are basically optimizing the power in terms by compensating for extra area given to devices. So this design will take somewhat extra area, but it will save too much power. So for portable device, area is also an asset, but more than that, power dissipation is an asset. So we want to run our battery for infinite time, but it is not possible. We want to run it as long as possible. So with that, I conclude my presentation. Thank you very much for your patience listening. Any questions if you have?
Thank you, sir. Any questions?
Which simulator you have used here?
So I have used Tanner EDA tool. So Tanner EDA tool is basically circuit device simulator.
Okay, right now you have used a simulator. Have you, can you find out the approximate cost when you will design this device? Because right now you are working with the simulation only.
Yes, ma'am.
Because when you are reducing that power, like the power consumption or the energy will be saved, then the device what you are making, what
so
will
it
be
is
the cost?
entirely a different design, and the work is to be done from scratch.
Yeah, what
so
will be the approximate cost? Because maybe if
ma'am,
you
it is
are
very difficult to estimate. Reason being, so this cost is not depends upon one or two factors. There are multiple factors. So like this multiplexer is not alone designed. So this multiplexer is designed along with the system.
maybe the cost of that device will be very higher than the energy you are
Not
saving.
not really. The cost of the device doesn't too much depend on the design. So it depends more on the what we say
No,
human.
I'm not saying about the design. I am saying the device whatever you will design based upon your logic, based upon the multiplexer you have designed. Obviously, you will design the device based upon your approach.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And I am saying the energy you are making this device for saving the energy.
Yes, ma'am.
Right.
Yes.
The energy saving will maybe lesser than
Okay,
the
okay.
cost
So
of
you
your device.
okay? You mean to ask? I may be spending more money by modifying the design than actually saving for the powers.
Then what will be the benefit
So
of that?
so basically, ma'am, this device is not designed for this projector. So basically, this is continuously powered. This device is made for this laptop. So which doesn't have enough power. So I want this battery of this laptop to be run for 24 hours. So for this, Apple will pay me 1,000 more rupees, or the customer will pay me 5,000 more for if this battery can run for 24 hours.
But if the cost of that maybe like the 20,000, then you will not charge around 5,000 from the customer.
The cost of making an IC is nothing. It is nothing in front of the man hour spent, which are devoted by the research team. So man hours cost is too much high in this case. The silicon doesn't cost anything. Silicon. So basically, we are optimizing between area and power. So we cannot say we are taking too much of silicon. Silicon is everywhere in the world. Silicon is in abundance.
Just look for this, because whenever we are designing anything, whenever we are giving any solution, then look for that thing
The
also.
cost.
We are giving this solution, and the cost of designing this solution will be approximate this one. That will be the beneficial one.
So ma'am, the cost cannot be calculated because I have not designed a complete system. So
But
the
we
cost
have to at least give some rough design, because you are designing your 2x1 multiplexer, na?
You are also saying exactly the same thing. So until unless I am designing a complete system, I cannot estimate the cost also. Even not only me, but even a good fabrication fab cannot decide a cost until unless they have complete system.
Can you explain your 2x1 multiplex a little bit?
Can you please run maximize them? So you mean to ask for this design? So basically, what I have done, if you are making in convention logic, so this design will be having this part. So what 2N 2P or PFAL or ECRL, they are using this addition circuitry, which is basically a latch kind of things. So this latch kind of things actually saving the power for the next cycle. So what is the basic background of adiabatic logic means? We are not wasting any energy. Any energy which is drawn from the VDD, that is power source, it is saved in this latch only, And in the next cycle, when we are using again that energy, so some part of this energy will goes to the output only. So it is basically kind of bank kind of things, where we are saving rather than wasting, we are saving it in a certain part, and this part is actually occupying an area. So the correct question for this would be, this design would be, how much area I would be adding. So area is an asset for integrated circuit. I want million of transistor to be made in this area. So now if I am using this design, then these number of transistor millions will be getting half of millions. So because these are taking too much, double of it, that area.
I have just gone through an article some time back, and this was dealing with the fabrication on 45 nanometer CMOS design for same inverter circuit.
Yes, sir.
So have you just referred that by any chance? It's a paper in LCware wherein you can draw some comparative and it will be easier for us to
not
understand.
really this, but in my PhD I have done on 30 nanometer also. At present, the Samsung phone is using 4 nanometer device. So basically, what we are simulating, we are using a Tanner tool. So Tanner tool doesn't support beyond 30 nanometer. So that is why I have, for result to be verified at this level, I have used 180 nanometer design. That is why I have used. Otherwise, we can simulate it, but we are not sure that the result would be okay.
But for the NOR gate, I think there was you were not
There are
getting
many
enough.
papers.
There were some difficulties,
Sir,
right?
there are many papers. There are many papers.
No,
So
no, I'm not talking about the paper. I'm talking about the result. If you can just go to the result of NOR gate.
This one?
Yes. No, not this. Next one. Yes.
So basically, these are nothing, sir. These are showing that when my input is 1, my second input is also 1. At that time, what I am getting 0.
Right. What is the last one? Last graph?
And this is bar of this. So when I'm getting this as 0, then I am getting 1 at this point. So this is
and
V out.
What is the reverse of that?
This is V out and this is V out bar.
No, not that. If you go to the the base of the last graph, the base of the last graph is showing how much voltage?
This you are asking?
Yes.
So this is basically 1.5 volt voltage range.
So it should be ideally 0, right? It should be the negation of it, negation of the maximum voltage.
There are two logic in digital. So one is high and another one is low. So low I have considered as 0 and high as I have considered as 1.5, which is my VDD. And
high
ideally this should be 1.5 volt. But at this point this should be 0. So the right question may be
right. That's what I was asking.
This should be why this is not 0.
Yes, that's what is my question.
So basically the reason for this is that when I am adding the device, I am not I am not taking care of these loading capacitance. This is occurring at this point. So which is called parasitic capacitance. So these parasitic capacitance plays the role that my output doesn't go to 0. My output doesn't go to 0 at this point. This is the problem. No. So this graph is actually I don't think very clear. Let me exactly tell you.
Probably the axis is marked wrongly. Probably you should have started at 0.00 at the bottom. Yeah.
So it is going below 0. So again, the parasitic capacitance may be coming into the picture. I haven't,
what could be the probable solution for this? If you have to take it forward, what could be the probable solution?
So the probable solution would be I have to take loading capacitor of the these nodes also taken care, and for that I have to use some output capacitor also. That can compensate for this.
But adding more units to it again will basically reflect on the cost, right?
No, not only cost, but it will increase the delay also, RC delay also.
Yes.
So this might be because of this parasitic capacitance.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
I would like to call upon the next paper ID 209, rainfall prediction models using BPNN PSO in Jhelum River Basin, a case study by Sandeep Samatre. So you have 10 minutes, sir.
Good afternoon all. Myself Dr. Sandeep Samantray. I am working as assistant professor in Department of Civil Engineering, NIT Srinagar. Basically, I am working on the application of AI, ML for prediction of all climatological parameter and all hydrological parameter. Because we know nowadays we are facing so many problems regarding disaster management. As disaster management is nowadays crucial parameter or crucial effect, so we have to go through these things and we have to use hybrid machine learning for the prediction of this parameter. And this is the first one. First one is the prediction of rainfall using hybrid BPN PSO in Jhelum River Basin. Here I considered one river basin, that one is Jhelum River Basin. And in Jhelum River Basin is basically starting from Jammu Kashmir to Pakistan, end is Pakistan. But here I considered only one gauging station. Okay. This is the contents of my presentation. First one is introduction, then literature review, then study area, then methodology, then result and discussion, then conclusion. First of all, we should know how rainfall is important to us, because we know water is much more important for our day-to-day life. So whatever water we are consuming, that is coming from rainfall, maximum percent is coming from rainfall, then some percent is coming from the glaciers, and some percent is coming from the groundwater. And whatever the groundwater we are using, that water also coming from the rainfall. So all are basically depend upon the rainfall, that is called as precipitation. Okay, and we know that if without water we cannot survive. So water is nowadays crucial for all. That is for human beings, for if you go through industry, for everyone. If you go through the animals also, for everyone water is required. So for prediction of rainfall nowadays is much more important. The literature review. First, Michelin et al. In 2015, they adapted ANN, that is one is artificial neural network, and BPNN, that is back propagation neural network. They conducted a study on Tagron East culmination, Indonesia, and they considered the dataset of 1986 to 2003 for prediction of rainfall. Basically, they considered BPNN. Okay, the second paper, that is Wahuni et al. In 2017, they considered BPNN, and they used a dataset for 2005 to 2014, and they considered the gauging station in East Java. Then Purnima et al. 2019, they considered RNN, recurrent neural network, LSTM, then hybridization is there, RNN, LSTM, ELM, and both ARIM also. And they considered Hyderabad region, and they considered dataset of 1980 to 2014 dataset. Then Ilasoburi et al., they considered FFNN, GR, RNN, CFNN, and ENN. They considered one gauging station, Suez City in Egypt, and they considered dataset of 2000 to 2019. Then, this is the study of the BPNN PSO. Here, first of all, Lee and Liu in 2016, they used BPNN and one hybridization is there, BPNN PSO, but they go for the prediction of earthquake resistance, and they consider 29 dataset, and they consider study area Wuhan City, China. Then Luan 2020, they considered again BPNN PSO, and they go through the study area as Guangzhou, China, and they consider the dataset of 1951 to 2015. Then Sofangard et al., they also consider BPN PSO, and they considered experimental set of dataset, and they considered 54 number of dataset, and they all consider for prediction of optimal drilling response of carbon fiber reinforced polymer. Then Jujia et al., they consider BPNN, BPNN PSO, SBM, SBN PSO, WNN, WN PSO, and they will go for the drought prediction, and the study area is that Fuxin City, Northeast China, and they consider dataset of 1965 to 2019. Here, this one is the study for the all prediction in different study, not in the hydrological parameters, specifically in rainfall. So here I consider rainfall as a parameter, and prediction of rainfall nowadays important. And one more thing here is I have to include, whatever my study area is there, that one is a cold region. That one is cold, arid region. Then objective of my study is that to predict monthly rainfall data set. Here I consider data set of 1974 to 2022, and whatever data I used here, I collected all data from the IMD, Indian Meteorological Department, Srinagar, and Water Resource Engineering Division, Srinagar, and the prediction of monthly rainfall data set using hybrid machine learning approach. Here I consider BPNN as a standalone method and BPNN PSO as a hybrid machine learning approach in Kajikund station. Actually, in Jhelum River Basin, there is 11 stations. Here I consider only one station, that is Kajikund River Basin station in Jhelum River Basin, India. This is my study area. In first figure, in first one is the India. That blue person, sky blue person is showing that one is Jammu Kashmir region. And then second figure, this is showing that within Jammu Kashmir region, that brown part or some yellowish part, that one is your Jhelum River Basin. In third part, that Jhelum River Basin, I mentioned that red part, that is my Kajikund station, and that is the downstream of the river basin. Next, BPNN. That is all well-known network technique. It consists of 3 layers. Basically, first one is the input layer, second one is the hidden layer, third one is the output layer. Here I consider 5 different scenarios. Whatever data I collected from the IMD department, I consider rainfall as a input, but here I consider the 5 different conditions. First condition is the 1 month lag time. That means RT minus 1. If I will consider as a R as a rainfall, then RT minus 1 is my first input. That is 1 month lag time of rainfall. For second scenario, here I consider 2 different input criteria. That one is rainfall for 1 month lag time. Second one is rainfall for 2 month lag time. Like third scenario. Third scenario, I consider 3 different conditions or 3 different input scenario. That one I added another one term, that is 3 month lag time. Then I added another fourth one for fourth scenario, and I added fifth one for fifth scenario. But my output is that rainfall. Then I have to go through the combination. Then I consider PSO as an optimization technique with the BPNN to optimize the model, only to get the hybridization and only to get the more efficiency of the model. This is my flow chart of the BPNN PSO. This is the evaluation criteria. Whatever model I am developing, I here calculated RMSE, root mean square error, MAE, mean absolute error. I also calculated NSE, Nash short clip efficiency. Here we can add more evaluative constraint like R square, WI, P bias, whatever you want, you can add more statistical constraint to evaluate the performance of the model. Then this is my result. In first one, model is the BPNN, second one model is the BPN PSO. As I mentioned scenario, here I consider 5 different scenario. As I mentioned, scenario 1 is the 1 month lag time. Scenario 2 is the 2 month. That is 1 month lag time in contrast with the 2 month. Then third is we are considering 3 different scenario. In fourth, 4 different scenario. In 5 different input combination. But output is same, that is rainfall. Then in training phases, I consider data set for 1974 to 2022. 70% data set I consider for a training data set, and 30% data set I consider for the testing data set. Then whatever the result I am getting, in first I'll consider RMSE. RMSE is the root mean square error. If I'll go through root mean square error, that scenario 5 is showing that more efficient result. As you know, if RMSE is less, then the model is showing best performance. That means in scenario 5, I am getting 9.4439. But in case of BPN and PSO, while I will checking for the scenario 5, we are getting 0.0078. That means BPN PSO is showing more prominent performance as compared to the BPNN in terms of RMSE. Similarly, I will go to the NSE and R square. If I will go to the NSE, in BPNN it is showing that 0.9404 for BPNN. But while we go to the BPN PSO, it is showing that 0.9947. Here also it is showing that NSE value also more for the BPNN PSO as compared to the BPNN. Then we will go for the coefficient determination R square. In same case also R square BPNN we are getting 0.9417. But while we will go to the BPNN PSO, we are getting 0.9963. This is all for the training phases. If we will go to testing phases also same thing. If I will check for the R square, I am getting BPNN value is 0.9163. But in case of BPN and PSO, I am getting the value of 0.9741. This is all the statistical evaluation of my model. in all parameter RMSE, MSE, NSE, R square, we found that ki BPNN PSO is showing more prominent result as compared to the BPNN. Then we will go to the graphical analysis. If I will go to the scatter plot of actual versus predicted rainfall data set, this is the x-axis shows that this is the actual precipitation data, and y-axis shows that the predicted precipitation data. And that 2 point is there. First one is the BPNN, that one is the some pinkish one, then BPN PSO is the red one. In BPNN also in graphical result it is showing that R square is 0.9163. But in BPN PSO it is showing that R square is 0.9741. Previously also we checked that the statistical evaluation shows that BPN PSO is more prominent as compared to the BPNN. Here also graphical representation shows that BPN PSO is more efficient than the BPNN. Then we go to the time series plot of the actual versus predicted rainfall.
Sir, please conclude the paper. 10 minutes is over.
Okay. Like this also I go to the box plot. There are so many plots there. We can evaluate the model. We can use for the Taylor diagram also we can use. We can go to the radar chart. We can go to the histogram. There are so many things. This is my conclusion. Here I consider various input parameter for model development and utilize 2 algorithms. That one is BPNN and BPN PSO, and it is found that BPN PSO is more superior than the BPNN. This is the references.
Time for questions.
How many input parameters you have considered here, sir?
I consider 1974 to 2022 monthly data set. That means 12 into like year.
No, input parameters.
Okay, parameter is the different lag time of the rainfall data set. That is, if I consider my first data set is January 1974 for first scenario, then I started the data set from 1974 January to the 2022 December. But in second combination, what I started, that the data set will start from the February 1974 and it will end up to the 2022 December. That means one data set will be the less from the as compared to the previous one.
No, I am asking whether you have considered only the rainfall.
Only rainfall. No other
like
parameter. Only rainfall, but different lag time.
So what are the functions you have used here?
Kernel
What
function.
are the activation functions here?
I use kernel function.
Kernel
function. There are so many functions. RBF kernel function is there. Gaussian function is there. I use kernel function only.
Why not any others?
I can use that one also. That is not an issue.
Maybe you have you got the better results in those.
No. Already we checked. I already published more than 100 articles in SCI Index journal. Okay. In everywhere, I am found that kernel function is showing more prominent performance. Everywhere.
So if you will consider you have considered for the different time series there, like
Yes.
1, 2, 3,
Yes.
4,
Up
5.
to
If you will consider more than one parameters together.
Yes. That also we can do. In the next paper, that one is flood prediction. There I consider 4 different parameters. One is rainfall.
4 different parameters.
Yes. That also we can do. That is my another paper
Because
is
that
there.
may give the better results.
Yes. That is my another paper. That is in second round revision is there.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions?
So you have compared BPNN with your own developed model, I guess, right?
Yes.
Here?
Yes.
Okay. So obviously you would have you would be knowing about CNN.
Yes.
Right? So in this BPNN, the model which you have developed, right?
Yes.
How many hidden layers are there which you are trying to incorporate here?
Yes. Actually, what's happening now? In my data set, whatever the input data set is there, I used n minus number of hidden layer data set. If my data set is 100, then I usually use 99 number of hidden layer data set.
Hidden layers, 99.
Yes, 99.
Complexity.
Yes. Whatever we are going through the performance of the model, it will take minimum 4 to 6 days for one model evaluation.
Second thing is you have standardized and fixed the train is to test ratio.
Yes.
You have kept it as 70:30.
Yes. We can go for the 60-40, 75-25, 80-20, whatever we want, we can go through.
In that also, have you kept it as a separate folder for that ratio? All the entire database
Yes.
or data set, have you just divided it into 70s
No,
to 30?
we have to divide.
Okay, you have not gone for K-means clustering?
No.
Okay. So with K-means clustering, if you would have gone,
they
you would
are
have gone better outcomes.
yes, they are no need to divide. They automatically they will take a 70-30.
Yes. And based on the number of trials, it will keep on advancing it. Just one thing to add on, if you may take my suggestion, in your one of the slides that is regarding the literature survey, if you can just go to that. Here the only thing which I found missing personally was the data set is mentioned here, but the corresponding analysis or the study of that particular person is not mentioned. So the data set wherein the prediction is basically done, and what is the result of that? How much accurate is that particular person, so that you can have a comparison. So that's the only thing from my side. If that could be added, I think it will cover up most of the things. So that was one of the main key
points. I should highlight that one. Which model is showing best performance? I should highlight.
Right. Okay, so that is my side. That is from my side. Thank you.
No, I consider 11 stations. Actually, this is the project work under Ministry of Education. That is the prediction of sediment load using different climatological parameter in Jhelum River Basin. This is the only small part. Here only one station. Remaining is with me. Yes, already 2 paper is communicated. Remaining 10 station is there. 5. Multiple paper is there because we have to go through multiple number of paper. They are also communicated.
Thank you, sir. I would like to welcome Sandeep sir once again for presenting the paper ID 20210. Hybrid support vector machine model with Harris-Ox optimization is a successive tool for flood prediction. A case study by Sandeep, Samatharathi, S.K. Lal, Mohideen, Deepthi Prashas and others. Hybrid paper ID 210. You have 10 minutes, sir.
Yes. Here I considered flood. Previous one is the rainfall prediction. Here I consider flood. We know that in the river, what will happen if more water will come? If there is a flash flood, then what will happen? It will go and it will crosses the bank. Whatever amount it will crosses, that is the we are evaluating as a flood discharge. As we know that if sudden rainfall or maximum number of rainfall, if maximum number of input is there, wherever water is coming, we know that this is coming under the glacier region. So what will happen if more water will comes from the ice melt? Then what will happen? Suddenly the flood will be increases, or suddenly the water will be increases. So that's why we are considering prediction of flood using SBM HHO. This is the another one optimization technique, Harris-Ox optimization. This is only one bird. We know that when birds are flying, they are flying together. And when one bird will hunt on the food, then all bird also they will hunt to the food. This is the only mechanism behind these things. Okay, that is the SBM HHO. That is the combination of HHO with the SBM. This is the my content. This is the introduction, basic introduction regarding flood. Yes, this is a literature review. Leong and Sivapragasam, they consider SBM ANN and they considered 467 data set of Dhaka, Bangladesh to predict the flood prediction. They found that SBM is showing more prominent performance as ANN. In second, Nippon et al., they consider SBM and MLP, multilayer perception, and they consider dataset of 2005 to 2006 and Delhi dataset they considered. And the station is that Chiang Mai, Thailand. And here also they found that SBM is showing more prominent as compared to MLP. Then in Lin et al., they also consider SBM as a modeling performance technique, and they consider 16 typhoon storm in Taiwan, and they found that SBM is showing more performance. Then Tehri et al., 2015, they considered SBM with different number of function, and the data set they considered, that is altitude, slope, curvature, all topographical data set they considered, and they used as a study area Terengganu Basin, Peninsular Malaysia, and they also found that kernel function of SBM will show more prominent performance. Yes. Then I will come to the HHO model. Actually, that HHO model is the Harris-Ox optimization that was developed on 2019. That first paper came in 2019, and this is not the first article. This is the second article. Mohideen et al., they used 630 data set for development of the model, and they considered soil slope with rigid foundation. They consider different soil slope condition for model development purposes. Then Jia et al. In 2020, they considered HHO with SBM, and they considered another one technique, PCNN, and they go through the image segmentation, and they consider 4 medical image and 5 gray cell image for prediction purposes. Then Wilson et al. 2020, they consider again optimization technique HHO, and they go through the nodes, different nodes. They optimize different nodes. They consider network size ranging from the 100 to 5,000 nodes. Then Ikansi et al. They also considered SBM HHO, and they considered speed regulation performance of the vehicle. Then Malik et al. They considered rainfall data, and they considered SBR PSO and SBR HHO and modeling technique of the Uttarakhand, India. Next, Maharana et al. They considered SBM HHO as a prediction modeling technique, and they considered Kachar district, Assam, India. They considered rainfall time series data from the Kachar district. Then Danasavaraj et al. They also consider SBM HHO. They consider different laboratory experiment data set with porosity ratio, and they consider 138 data set for the modeling of development. Here the main theme is that in different field, that is the other field, they already considered SBM HHO as a modeling technique, and they found that SBM HHO is showing more prominent performance. So here I introduced SBM HHO as prediction of the flood prediction. Then it is my objective. The objective of this research is to predict flood using hybrid SBM approach and compare the SBM approach model with the standalone SBM model. Here I considered 4 different scenarios. In first scenario, I consider rainfall data. In second scenario, I consider rainfall with temperature, maximum temperature. In third scenario, I consider rainfall with maximum temperature, minimum temperature. In fourth scenario, I consider rainfall, maximum temperature, minimum temperature, and relative humidity. But output is that flood. Yes, this one is the study area. First one is the India map, which showing that Odisha and Chhattisgarh are state. In that region, I consider Mahanadi River Basin. The second one is that blue mark is that Mahanadi River Basin. In the third figure, that triangle mark is the that one is the station, Tikarapada station. I consider that is the coming under delta portion of the Mahanadi River Basin. Here I consider Tikarapada as a gauging station. Then this is the basic concept on SBM. This is my architecture. First one is the input layer, second one is the hidden layer, third one is the normalization technique. We have to input bias to optimize the model, not optimize, to enhance the model efficacy. Then fourth one is the output layer and output. Then HHO algorithm. What will happen in HHO algorithm? When birds are moving, to search the food, when one bird will hunt to the rabbit. If I consider one food as a rabbit, if one bird or one harishak will hunt to the rabbit, then what will happen? Other harishak also, they will also act, or they will also attack to this rabbit. What will happen then? Then rabbit will move on zigzag manner. There is no certain path. On that basis of that modeling technique, we have to develop, or we developed HHO algorithm. First is the exploration phase. That is the first we have to explore. Where is the food is available? First they have to explore. Second is the shift from exploration to exploitation. Exploitation is nothing but to easily get. First one is the exploration, to search the food. But exploitation is the within the minimum certain time period, we have to find out the food. Third one is the exploitation. Exploitation means you have to get that food within the minimization time. Fourth one is the merging of the SBM with the exploitation, that is the optimization algorithm. This is the evaluating constraint, RMSE, root mean square error, Wilmot index, R square. There are so many methods there, or so many approaches there. We can use whatever you want to use. And all are based on the actual data and predicted data set. Here this is my result table. First one is the SBM, second one is the SBM HHO. Here I consider 4 different scenarios. In first scenario already mentioned rainfall. Second one is the rainfall with maximum temperature. Third one is the rainfall, maximum temperature, minimum temperature. Fourth one is the inclusion of humidity. Here we will go through the training phase. Here R square I am getting in scenario 4, 0.9211. But while we go to the SBM HHO, I am getting the value of 0.98559. That means it will indicate that SBM HHO is showing more permanent performance as compared to the SBM. If I will go to the WI index, the Wilmot index, same things. SBM is showing that is 0.9265 is the result for the scenario 4. If I will go to the SBM HHO, the scenario 4 is showing that 0.9902. That means it will be concluded that key SBM HHO is showing that more performance or more evaluating performance as compared to SBM. Same things happened in the testing phase also. Here also we'll find that scenario 4 is showing that the maximum efficiency or maximum prominent performance as comparison to the other scenario condition. If we'll go to the model, then we'll find that SBM HHO is found more superior performance than the SBM. This is the only graphical representation. That first one is the graphical representation for the SBM. That small box is the total number of dataset, that is the 2002 to 2022. And that one the box for the both including training and testing dataset. Two line is there. First one is the red mark is the actual dataset and blue mark is the predicted dataset. But in the large one, that below one, here we are showing only testing period, that is from 2017 to 2022. That red mark is the actual and that blue mark is the predicted one. That here we can, it is clearly indicated that, or it is clearly shows that key how much data is varying from the actual dataset. But when you consider the SBM HHO, you can see that key both the line are closure. That means whatever data we are getting through the prediction model, that is equivalence with the actual dataset. If we go to the box plot, then also we can show that key whatever dataset with the actual, that is equivalence with the SBM HHO as compared to the SBM. Then this is my conclusion. Here I consider four different scenario, that is inclusion of rainfall, maximum temperature, minimum temperature, and humidity as input criteria. And here I consider two algorithms, that one is the SBM and SBM HHO. And I found that key SBM HHO is more prominent performance as comparison to the SBM in both statistical approach, in as the graphical approach. This is my references. Yes, size dataset is 2002 to 2022, monthly dataset. Monthly dataset. Yes. No, whatever we are doing, whatever we are collecting the data, that is in randomization nature. That means if you consider January 2002, first month, maybe dataset will be the 14.6 meter cube per second. If you will go to the February, it may be 15, it may be 16, it may be less. Whatever dataset we are getting, first we have to go to the normalization. There is a formula, standard formula is there, normalization. We have to fix all the dataset into 0 to 1. Whatever dataset we are collecting first, we have to first changes the dataset to the normalized dataset, that is 0 to 1. Then what will happen? If my dataset size is 2002 to 2022, that means 21 year. 21 means, and in each year we are getting 12 dataset. 21 into 12, that is near about 250 to 60 like that. Then my matrix will be 256 into like that actually we are dividing. There is no MB size actually. It will be KB only. Whenever I am. Yes, that one is forecast. No, yes, that we can do. That is forecast. That is not prediction. Yes, it looks it here like both are same, but it is not same. Forecast is different, prediction is different. This is the prediction approach. Whatever data I am considering in one region, that I can use in another region. But what will happen? Your question is that we can predict in 2035 there is flood or not. Yes, that is the no. Yes. I'm getting. That is not prediction. That is forecasting. If we are considering 20-year data set, previous 20-year data set, or 25-year data set, we have to forecast for next upcoming year. We have to forecast next 100 year. That is again forecasting. That is the long-term analysis, short-term analysis. If we will go through the less than 35 year, that is the short-term analysis. If we will go through the more than 35 year, then it is the long-term analysis. What will happen? Basically, we are using ARIMA and SRIMA for these things. What will happen? They will, if we take the value of 2000 to 2022 or 24, now we are going 24, if we are putting as a data set of 2000 to 2024, they will directly show. You have to only change the year there. You have to only change the year 2000 to 25. What is the approximate plot? It will come on 2025, that will directly come. There is a prediction graph will come. That graph will indicate ki, is there in chances or not. So we are doing the research. Yes. Yes. No, actually what will happen, this analysis basically depend upon the available data. Here data is available, that's why I fix up the model. If we will go to the South Africa, there is a region is there, same region, cold semi-arid region, and but data set is not available. Then what should you do? We have to fix up this model there. But you are asking about the forecasting. That is totally different. Forecasting means we can forecast that things in next year, whatever desired year. On that particular desired year, what amount will be the flood discharge? That is forecasting. That is totally different. That we can do. That is also I am doing. Yes. No. It is. No. Actually, yes. Actually, what will happen, ma'am? Basically, in a society, we are doing all things in AI. Everywhere, whatever sector you are going, everywhere you will find that key, or everywhere we are using AI. But especially in climate change, we cannot insert this AI in climate change, because we cannot say that key, whatever you are getting by using the model, whatever the value is coming, maybe it will comes true, maybe it will not comes true. Several times also it was already failed. Several times. We can predict like that key, next year there is a flood. How you can find that? The model is showing that. But what will happen next year? There is no flood. Maybe there is a flood. So for that condition, what will happen? So this model will fail. So we cannot say that key, that model is wrong, because that model is already showed that key in other field. It is showing prominent performance. But we cannot say that that model is wrong. Again, what will happen? If we are saying that key, the prediction is saying that key, there is a flood in next year, but there is no flood, then what will happen? Then what public will say? Whatever the fixer we are model developing, that is totally wrong. Only to overcome these purposes, we have divided two parts. One is forecasting, one is prediction. Both looks same. Forecasting, whatever the meaning of forecasting, that is same with the prediction. But what? Forecasting will show what is the exact amount, but maybe it will not happen. But prediction, there is a model we have to develop. Nothing is there. This model we can use in other field also. Nowadays, people are using in earthquake resistance also. Previously it was not there, but nowadays they are using in earthquake also. Previously it was not there. Now also people are going to drought index also.
A question from my side. You have explained about the SVM model, you have explained about Harris-Hawkes optimization technique. You have not given me an explanation of how these two together is deployed here, because there's no methodology wherein SVM along with Harris-Hawkes and HHO. SVM HHO you have not explained. So can you just shed some light on that?
Yes. Actually what will happen, SVM is a basically general technique. We are not focusing on the standalone method. Basically we are focusing on the optimization technique. There are so many optimization techniques. As this one is the new one, so I am focusing on the HHO. What will happen? There is different parameter. I previously mentioned like that key, there is so many birds in a flocks or in a group. They are flying. But only one bird first they will search. That one is my first step. Exploration. First you have to explore. Like this, here I have to explore which parameter is more prominent. Here I consider 4 different parameters. First one is rainfall, second one is maximum temperature, third one is minimum temperature, fourth one is the humidity. Like this, if in my group 4 bird is there, which bird is first hunt to the food? Here my food is the flood. Flood is my first. Flood is my first food. Here flood is my food, and which parameter will first attack to the flood? And I found that like this. Kindly go to the slide.
Just to interrupt you in between, what do you mean by this parameter will result in flood? I did not get that point.
That one is the influencing parameter.
Is it like a priority?
Yes.
Out of the 4 parameters, one parameter which is of higher priority will result in flood?
That will get from scenario, yes. If I will go to the scenario 1, only one parameter is there, rainfall. But here what we will get? R square I am getting 0.9183. But when I am adding another parameter T max, temperature maximum, that is maximum temperature, then the model is showing more prominent performance, that is 0.9195. That means model is showing best as compared to the scenario 1. Then I go to the third one, that is I added T minimum, that is temperature minimum. Then I am found that 0.9204. That means
is R square the prediction accuracy?
Prediction accuracy. Then we will go to the fourth one, scenario 4, when we add in humidity, then I am getting the value of 0.9211. If I will add some more parameter like relative humidity, like evapotranspiration, transpiration, then maybe I will get more value. That is another study is there. Definitely we will get more value, because we are feeding more input parameter, means definitely we will get more value. There is no question.
Sir, does a HHO model identify which parameter is more sensitive?
That is the another study again. Already I got the value of all scenario conditions. We have to then identify which one will be more. We have to subtract, we have to go through error analysis, P bias or RMSE also we can go through. When you will find out the RMSE value, on depending upon that value, you can identify or you can say that which one is the more efficient.
Okay, sir. And see, with your previous paper, you predicted rainfall, and now it is predicting flood. Both are prediction models. Okay, so for rainfall, you said BPNN PSO model performed better than the other models. So you tried the same model here also for flood prediction. Why did you go for another model here?
Yes, already used, but that one is the catcher. Silchar, one district in the Assam, catcher. One river is also there. I am not getting the river. On that river, we use same model.
How was the results there, sir?
Good also.
Because both are prediction models only, no? So why we have to?
Actually, I didn't remember the actual term, but maybe it will be more than 92%, 93%.
Okay, sir. And my last question is, for the flood prediction, the parameter slope, functions, it is a very crucial factor as input. So why did you just take a relative humidity rather than,
Actually, that is depending upon the availability.
Data availability.
Yes, data availability. If we are getting more data, then we can include as input parameter.
And how far your model will be reliable for those places, like island like us, where the historic data is very sparse?
Definitely. That's why the ministry sent me to here. Go and search whether it is applicable or not. I am here up to another 4 days.
Okay,
I have to
sir.
explore all these things.
Okay, sir.
And now that ministry is saying that wind prediction. What is the wind prediction and how it will affect? I have to study on that also.
Okay, sir. Thanks a lot.
Just to add on, since you have mentioned the scenario and you have kept on adding the parameters, right?
Yes.
And you have created different scenarios. So as what to Dinah madam was asking about the sensitivity of individual parameters here. So if you can just have a look, the first parameter RF is there, the second parameter is RF and Tmax combined together. So if that could be changed to only Tmax, could we get R square with respect to that?
Definitely we'll
so
get.
that will help us understand the sensitivity of individual parameters with respect to T square.
Yes. If you will go through individual parameter, that also it will indicate how much efficient the model is.
Yes, so you need not keep on adding up more parameters and assessing it.
Why I added? There are so many researchers there already did the same scenario. Actually, what will happen in journal? They will directly ask why you are considering the particular scenario condition. At that time, we have to answer like that. Already this scenario is considered in that field, some other field. That's why you consider this one as a scenario. We are not taking a randomly these things. Also nowadays, what we are doing, principal component analysis is there, PCC is there. But that PCC also we can identify which parameter is more prominent. That also we can identify. There is so many uncertainty analysis there. If we go through 95% uncertainty analysis, then also it will be identified that which parameter is more sensible. So many technique is there. That also we can do.
Thank you, Sandeep sir. So time for the end of our technical session. So I'll ask Abhishek sir, program coordinator, to officially end the session.
Good afternoon, all. So now it is the completion of this conference. As you know, 410 papers were submitted and 52 were selected, in which offline papers were 5, which we have conducted in our campus or in these island. Okay, so everything is right now done from our side. So I think so we can conclude now, and the paper presenter, please come on the stage. We'll have a photograph, group photograph, and your certificates are right now with me. Please take your certificates. Mr. Prashant Kumar, Dr. Prashant Kumar, I would request Asma Madam, please come and hand over the certificate to Dr. Prashant Kumar. Next is Dr. Lalit Ray. Next. Thank you. Dr. Sandeep Samantari, please come. Two certificates are there. Thank you, sir. Okay, thank you, ma'am. Okay, participants, thank you so much for coming up here and making this conference a wonderful. And one thing is for you, that you will get the e-certificate in your email ID. Okay, after 1 week, you will get your certificates. Okay, so thank you so much. Take care. Bye.
We'll have a group photos.
Sure.
Authors, please come to the podium. We'll have a group photo. All of them. I request all the faculty members also.
All the participants as well as authors, please come forward for the photo here. Please come. Just to add on, participants who have not given their email IDs, is there anybody who has not given your email ID by any chance? Okay. Mail IDs, I think somebody was taking. Mohini madam, have you taken? Yes. Okay. So if anybody has by chance not given the email ID, please give it to Mohini madam there, because your e-certificates will come there in your emails. Okay. So later on it will be a problem if you don't give your email IDs properly. And please verify what is the email ID you have given, by chance if there is any spelling mistake in that. Because while writing you may write it in a different way. So please verify that so that it comes to the right place. Otherwise it will go into your spam or it will go to somebody else. Okay, so please verify that once. Please come for a photo, everybody. Students, please come first.